Prosecutors will seek the death penalty for Gat Black, the 42-year-old man charged with murder in the alleged ramming and running over of Baton Rouge Police Sergeant Caleb Eisworth with his pickup truck. This, according to a notice filed in court on Tuesday. Baton Rouge District Attorney Hiller Moore filed the motion, making the court aware of that his office would seek execution for Black, who is facing a charge of first-degree murder. Amazon is making another move in Louisiana. This time, they're dropping $10.8 billion to acquire Global Star out of Covington. The deal is going to give Amazon access to Global Star's satellite network, infrastructure, and valuable spectrum, accelerating its ability to deliver direct-to-device connectivity for phones and other devices. Deputies are investigating a death at Angola prison that took place Tuesday afternoon, according to the West Feliciana Parish Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Brian Spillman confirmed that an inmate died and that detectives are currently investigating it as a, quote, unusual occurrence. The Hilton Baton Rouge Capitol Center on Lafayette Street will be renovated into a Sports Illustrated resort. The resort is a new concept by Florida real estate company Travel and Leisure Co. that reimagines hotels and sports hotspots with the magazine's branding. The company chose Baton Rouge as the next location due to LSU athletics. Of course, LSU alum Shaquille O'Neal is making a big investment into the project. Rev is now moving on into, Rev is now moving on into the, I'm not going to be able to get access to this. Sorry, y'all, don't have the, there we go. My word. South Louisiana's largest locally owned broadband provider announced yesterday the launch of Rev Fiber. Sorry, Rev is getting into the fiber game. That's where I was headed with that. Its flagship product brand for fiber internet services. This evolution from Rev's press release says the evolution reinforces the company's commitment to fiber optic network building expansion that accelerates across South Louisiana.
All right, President Trump is signaling another round of talks with Iran, and it could be just days away. The Wall Street Journal reports Saudi Arabia is now pressing the United States to scale back.
Scale back on, I'm assuming on.
Okay.
What? We can't scale back during a ceasefire. There's nothing to scale back.
Saying.
That's weird.
Just stand down.
Maybe scale back on demands. I don't know.
You know, I was researching this. This isn't just about oil. If I'm wrong, Brian, or I'm hoping I'm not wrong, this is about AI projects as well, right?
What?
Isn't this
about nuclear weapons and regime change?
I know, but ain't it all about like AI building over there as well? Like I know.
Not that I know. Yeah, I don't. I would show me during the break what you're looking at, because that you got me interested.
Okay, cool deal. Today is tax day. Like it or not, I hope you filed. If not, I hope you got an extension.
Okay, does anybody like wait till tax day anymore?
We do.
You do?
11th hour last week. Scott's asking me, where's all your stuff? No.
You said last week. You're already done.
Not done, but it's gonna be done by today.
I don't know. Do you remember when like it used to be the 10 o'clock news would have somebody posted up outside the post office on Bluebonnet?
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's a thing anymore. Between e-filing and I don't know.
I think we've had enough warning by now, and if you're 11th hour, shame on you.
Well, but even 11th hour, you're not going to be like hauling down to the post office to mail off your taxes.
Right. No excuse now. We got TurboTax. We got all sorts of stuff.
I cut a check and I mail in a form that my CPA has sent me for an extension. I mean, literally. And in fact, I even asked him, I said, does that, like you, I used to see the lines. I said, does it have to go out today? And he goes, eh. The extension is filed electronically. The money you send in is kind of like hey, I'm paying this towards the future taxes I'm going to pay.
Do you pay yours? You don't do quarterly?
I don't do quarterly.
Okay.
I like my money.
Yeah,
I like to keep my money. But I do pay, I will say, not to go into the inner workings of the Borghardt law firm, but I do pay what I think I'm going to owe when I do the extension, so that when I do finally finalize all the taxes,
you're zeroed out.
It's close to zero out. Yeah,
that's smart.
All right, interesting follow-up to yesterday's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announcement. Both Phil Collins and Oasis will be inducted into the same crop of performers. The only thing is they hate each other.
I didn't know this. I knew there used to be a feud between Oasis, one of the members of Oasis, and Phil Collins. I didn't realize that was still a thing.
It's still a thing.
Oh, I love that. I want to see Phil Collins fight.
So
get up on him, Studio.
Right. It goes all the way back in the 90s when Noel Gallagher had it out for
Noel
Phil.
Gallagher, that's right.
Yep. Phil Collins. And aggressively, he once said that he wanted Phil Collins's head in a fridge.
Oh.
Apparently.
Well,
and basically
that's not just another day in paradise.
And said Phil Collins was straight up saying Oasis isn't good. They're horrible.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
they had one album, right?
Oasis?
2.
Wonderwall.
They had to have more than just one album to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm guessing there's like maybe in Europe
didn't Gallagher destroy the band based on his inability to work with everybody, including his own brother?
Yeah. So maybe it's not Phil.
Yeah,
maybe it's not Phil.
Right.
No, he's an easy level.
But ironically, same class, same room, decades later. Yep.
All right. 613 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. LSU baseball, LSU softball. They both get it done last night. We'll cover it next. Let me get my coffee.
Tired of wearing dentures? If so, at Fusion Implant Center, we have a solution for you. The board-certified doctors here at Fusion Implant Center will ensure your procedures are done correctly, painlessly, and cost-effectively. Over 30,000 dental implants placed and 5-star reviews back this up. The larger corporate-owned centers don't do what we do. Plain and simple.
Good morning, Keith, Christy.
Same local doctors that have been treating patients for over 30 years. So don't give it a second thought. Your first consultation is free. Give us a call or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Because one moment can change a day, and one day at Fusion Implant Center can change your life forever.
In business, performance matters. That's why companies across Louisiana rely on advanced office systems to keep their operations running at the championship level. From industry-leading copiers, printers, and scanners to managed IT services, document cybersecurity solutions. Advanced Office Systems delivers the technology and support that your business needs to work faster, smarter, and more securely. When it's time to upgrade your office game, choose the team that's been winning for over 40 years. Visit AdvancedOffice.com. That's AdvancedOffice.com.
Hey, Tiger fans, this is Ben McDonald. Y'all know I've thrown a few pitches in my day. When it came time to buy my own land, I needed a lender I could trust to throw me a good one. That's why I called First South. They've been helping folks buy and refinance rural land for generations, and they made the whole process easy. No curveballs, no surprises. First South took great care of me, and I know they'll do the same for you. So if you're ready to make a move on some land, Tiger fans, make First South your first call. They're the real deal.
Now a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
At least for the moment, all 3 lanes are blocked on westbound I-10, top of the new bridge. They are trying to get these accident vehicles removed. So while that goes on, they're not allowing traffic to pass. Hopefully, this will not last for long. But right now, westbound I-10 is closed at the bridge. We were already looking at an hour and 20-minute drive through the backup. You're going to want to get to 190 and use that instead. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is sponsored by Blindsphere.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindsphere.com. If you price custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive it is. Blindsphere do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindsphere.com.
This report comes to you from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
Brandon Oliver here. You want a company that has true lifetime warranty? EliteWindows.com, baby. Hey, Baton Rouge, it's your reliably conservative but never boring. Join me weekday afternoons at 4 as we break down the news and have some fun on Talk 107.3.
Damn it. 617 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Sports time. LSU baseball took care of business last night. The last time Northwestern State came in Halleck Box Stadium, there were multiple rain delays. And LSU ended up getting run ruled 13-3 in 7 innings. It was just brutal. So coming off a weekend where you get swept in conference play, including a run rule right in the middle of that, a little bit of trepidation, if you will, before the Demons took to the diamond last night. LSU does, however, prevail 4-2. Couple of highlights from the game, if you will. A solo home run by a solo home run by Braylon Simpson. His first home run as a Tiger happened in the 3rd inning, put the Tigers on the board for their first run.
Wesley Marion, the right-hander, continues, and the first pitch going to be sent high in the air to center field on the run, going back to the track to the wall, and it's gone left to the batter's eye. Braden Simpson with his first home run in a Tiger uniform, and he ties it up with one swing of the bat, 1-1.
Northwestern State did have a home run on the top of the 2nd to put them ahead 1-0. So Braden Simpson's home run ties it up at 1. Teams would trade runs in the 5th. Northwestern would be back on the board in the 5th with another run. And then bottom of the 5th, Jake Brown's the one that took care of it. We're going to run out of time and not be able to play his 3-run home run. Also, we do have a full minute. Okay, good. That means that I could check in on LSU softball, who picked up a win on the road last night. One more note on baseball. The Tigers will be back home this weekend for conference play, taking on, I believe, Texas A&M in a 3-game set at the box. 4-2 was your final score last night. Softball, on the other hand, I shouldn't say on the other hand, softball last night, on the similar note, was a winner on the road. They went to UL Lafayette and posted up an 8-0 win, ended that game in 5. Like they have a 10-run rule in baseball, it was 8 runs in softball. So 8-0. Beth Torina brings her team home after just 5 innings. Softball will host Ole Miss in a Friday, Saturday, Sunday set right here on Talk 107.3 FM coming up this weekend. All right, 6:20 or right at 6:20, just about at Talk 107.3. Let's check the Fox Business Report. We'll check traffic. Then it's time to dive into Legally Served right after this.
Futures are narrowly lower, though President Trump says the Iran war is very close to over. The Middle East conflict is cutting into the profits of luxury companies, even Hermes, which usually holds up better than its competitors. Hermes' quarter was disappointing. It's citing geopolitical tensions and reduced tourism from the Middle East conflict. Also, a slowdown in visitors to France is impacting sales. Airlines are making changes because of higher jet fuel costs, and it's not just about higher fees to check a bag. The Wall Street Journal says airlines have been raising fares since late February, and because airlines can be subject to higher fuel prices on international flights, United Airlines is looking to cut flights in Asia. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Posola.
Asia.
In you.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought.
Ryan died.
So she's single?
And completely indifferent about it.
I was going to say, do you really want to be with her? She sounds like she has no emotion.
I mean, she's life insuranced up. Maybe I'm looking for that sugar mama. Do, do, do. Do, do, do.
Fear, isolation. These are the battles that so many people face every day. But it doesn't have to be this way. Now, Gail doesn't suffer like she used to, thanks to TMS therapy at NeuroJet.
Maybe, we're such a dramatic and histrionic world. Maybe the answer is to find someone who's just like sub vanilla.
Yeah.
God, no.
You need passion. You need fire.
I don't need boredom.
Yeah.
Maybe boredom is the solution. I don't know. That was the best sex I've ever had. 3 times. Amazing. No.
Yeah, no.
No.
All right, we got all kinds of problems going on right now on I-10 westbound in Baton Rouge. In fact, let's go ahead and start there. We're looking at delays on 10 westbound that start really back by the 10-12 merge, and they continue all the way up to the upslope of the bridge, if I'm not mistaken. I'm seeing if I can get an actual. Okay, I'm showing there's a stalled vehicle on 10 West near College, but that's obviously not the root of the problem here, because there are delays. Like I said, they go all the way up to the 10-110 split, and then flip that around on 110 southbound. You've got delays just before it merges with 10 on the upslope of the bridge. So I'm guessing we're going to learn something more here in just a quick minute. Ray might have more for you in the next update as to the reason for the delays. All I know about is that there are delays. So if you're making your way into downtown, it's going to be very, very slow going once you get past that 10-12 merge. Backing things up on 12, you got your normal congestion on 12 westbound coming in from Denham Springs. It's around the Range Avenue exit. Then again, it's around O'Neill Lane. And then one more time, slows down by Airline Highway. But once you hit that 10-12 merge, it's going to slow down big time. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the bridge, we are looking at some delays on Highway 1 southbound once you get past I-10, and then Highway 1 northbound as things approach Phillips Way. So yeah, there's a lot of delays right in that area on the west side. Surfer Street's in town. There was an accident about half an hour ago, Airline at Segan. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Is that about the 10 westbound? Oh, you don't have time right now. .624 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I'll let me take a quick moment to remind you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website. FlyBTR.com if you wanted to check it out online for making your travel plans. For look, you get the daily flight to Washington D.C. and I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about that.
We should do this.
What? Go to
you
D.C.
and I. Just talk to your wife. Just a weekend with Franz. You and I will pay for your flight
to just go to D.C.
to do some stuff in D.C. But yeah,
I mean,
I think you and I have similar interests in the things we'd want to see in the Capitol.
We do, but here's the thing, though. Like, Christy can't miss a D.C. trip. It's her favorite.
I'm not
city.
Paying for Christy.
It's her
That's
favorite
weird.
city.
You're making it weird.
It's the best. Wait, you just proposed like you and me go on a weekend together.
Trip. Wait,
yeah,
I'm making that weird? I take his wife to DC. I don't understand what's happening here.
No, I'm saying I'm not going without her. That's what I'm saying. All right. By the way,
we get a suite, and I'm like on the couch, and they're like in the bed. What is that?
I don't know.
You made it weird, Brian.
I'm just trying to do my.
Brian. You want to talk law now?
FlyBTR.com. No, I want to talk about my sponsor. Making your travel plans for football season, getting on the lane plane, if you will. FlyBTR.com. Ole Miss is an away game, and you know you want to be there. FlyBTR.com. Okay, I guess with no further ado, here comes Legally Served.
Sorry.
What you say, Franz?
You remember in the 90s?
I remember a lot of the 90s.
There was this actor, Mario Van Peebles, where he was in a movie with Ice-T.
He's in a couple movies with Ice-T.
About hunting homeless people.
Renegade?
No, I think it was the Surviving the Game. And then there was a separate movie in the 90s, Hard Target.
Okay.
Where they were hunting John Jean-Claude Van Damme, a homeless human ring, hunting them like homeless people.
Yeah.
Because, like, human beings are like the most noblest prey.
Right. Well,
we're not doing that.
Don't you remember? Was it a novel or a short story we had to read back at school called The Most Dangerous Game?
Yeah. So the legislature is not promoting the hunting of homeless people. They just want to round them up.
So,
see what I did there?
I do.
See what I did there?
I do.
It's a crime to be homeless.
Here's the thing, though. In 2026, I kind of get it.
Okay.
I kind of understand it.
Okay.
Because there are public nuisance laws. There are all sorts of things.
Because they're nasty. They're unsightly. They break up traffic. Poor is ugly. That's what the legislature's saying.
I'll tell you what, you're more than welcome to take them into your house.
Dude, I would love that. Is a sitcom waiting to happen. If
Isn't
you
it, though?
thought a sitcom waiting to happen was Brian and Franz go to DC on a flight from BTR, Franz takes in a few homeless people. What could possibly go wrong?
This is what I'm saying.
So the legislature is massaging a bill to criminalize homelessness.
No.
However,
They're
it's
working on a
not
bill to help homeless people.
but potato. So if you're a prior felon, you don't get to get the services on the back end. The idea is we arrest the homeless person, we give them like a service, like pretrial services to help them be presumably not homeless.
So I assume we're talking about the same bill here,
Yes.
right? The Streets to Success bill.
Yeah,
Debbie
Streets to
Villio's bill.
Success.
Yeah.
Homeless roundup.
No, it's homeless. You could look at it that way, or you could look at the opportunities there are to help them out along the way.
What if they don't want to be helped? What if they want to be homeless? Do you have a
Now
right
you've
to
got-
be homeless?
Okay, so that's a good question.
You do have a right to be homeless. It's just where you're homeless.
Right.
As long as you're not homeless on like a place where we don't have like pretty flowers and bushes and stuff.
Why do you keep putting in that terms and not
I mean,
in terms
Segan
of
Lane, is
where
it okay
you're-
to be homeless on Segan Lane, but not so much on College Drive?
No,
Corporate?
not on either.
Okay.
You're talking about public rights of
We
way
could-
right there.
You know what we
getting
could
jammed
do?
up.
We could make camps, homeless camps.
Oh,
where
they
we-
have full
where
cities
we
in Baton Rouge.
Concentrate all the people in a camp, like a concentration camp.
No. All right. See,
I am being hyperbolic.
no, I know,
However,
and this is where I know,
get into it.
the
Get into
legal
it.
argument is going to be weak if the
Oh
hyperbolic
no,
argument starts
no.
today.
I gotta go.
We've got a break here. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. Attorney Franz Borghardt is in for Legally Served. We'll pick it up right there on the way back in.
Where's the worst homeless problem in Baton Rouge?
I don't know where the city's at. There are two cities.
Okay, so when you say city, all joking aside, when you say homeless
Pop-up
city,
tents.
okay, do we just
random
kind of turn a
couches and mattresses that were found on the side of the road? They're all piled up in rights of way. They jam up.
I mean,
drainage.
kudos to a homeless person for getting that used couch instead of sleeping on the ground. Just saying.
I'm just saying, if you can carry a couch, you can get a job.
Yeah. What does getting a job have to do with it? What if the person is true question. What if the person's just like, you know what? Shit's real repugnant out there. I want to be homeless. I want to live out. Oh man.
You are talking about the bill by Debbie Villio, right? The one that creates the homeless court?
Yes. Okay. Ashley Bickham. Next week, Ricky Foster, never a content shortage with LP. Actually, I was talking about the LP last night, the fire chief that dropped the M-bomb, allegedly, in the meeting. Did you see that one?
Mm-mm.
There's a fire chief that had a meeting. He was talking about affordable houses, or not affordable houses. He was talking about like a new housing program, and someone expressed concern, and someone said something, and the fire chief allegedly said, well, unless the N-words can afford $2,600 in rent a month, we don't have to worry about that.
Wow.
Right. WAFB apparently had the recording. Someone from the committee or in the meeting verified that he said it. The committee met the fire board met last night, and they're going to be making a decision on him soon. So LP. So yes, the problem is this.
Wait.
You don't want to just round him up and put him in jail, right?
That's exactly what
Okay,
the bill is trying to avoid.
Okay, so you give them a bond. They're homeless. They make a bond. Where do they stay while? By the way,
where's the bond in here?
Yeah,
where's the bond?
Okay, if you're not going to put them in jail, where are you going to put them?
All right. The proposed law provides for all of the following relative to the program: the purpose, goals of creation, participation. I'm reading through it so I could find that part. Creates the law of unauthorized camping on public property and provides that the crime is the intentional use of any tent, shelter, or bedding constructed or arranged for the purpose of, or in such a way to permit overnight use on public property that is not a designated campground. So the answers go to a designated campground. Defines designated campgrounds on public property. First, okay, so you would have on the first conviction a fine of not more than $500, which they can't pay, imprisonment for not more than 6 months.
It's a misdemeanor.
That's right.
So you don't put them in jail. So they're still homeless. So you're going to give them services while they're homeless.
Right.
By the way, if you're a convicted felon, and a lot of homeless people are convicted felons, I don't know the stats, you're not eligible for this program.
Right. So, but if you are...
What if you have a mental health issue?
What if you're a junkie?
If you're a junkie, yeah.
You're thrown in prison for a while, you're going to get, you're not, it's not full on rehab, but you're not putting new drugs in you.
Actually, there are many drugs in prisons.
Well,
street drugs.
Let's say you're not at Elaine Hunt.
It's like I didn't expect us to squeeze a lot from this one, but like I feel like the juice is just it's delicious. So maybe Christy, Brian, and Franz go to DC, separate hotel rooms. It's not weird anymore, right? Not weird anymore. Y'all have a romantic dinner. I'll just go eat by myself.
You come with us to dinner.
That'd be kind of weird. You get your own hotel room afterwards, so you have the romance piece. Sometimes I really enjoy traveling by myself. Sometimes I don't.
My whole point was if you said any other city in the world, okay, or any other city in America.
Give me another direct flight.
Okay.
Heuston, Brian and Franz go to Houston. Separate hotel rooms. Not the same. It's not weird.
Just DC
is
Christie's.
Hold on. Two heterosexual males of our age could split a hotel room without it being weird. That's okay, right?
Well, you got
separate beds.
Two separate beds.
We're not talking one bed.
No.
Maybe a bed and a couch. I don't know. I'm just saying it's not weird on its face, right?
I snore like a buzzsaw. Ask David St. Romain.
Ugh, poor David.
Yeah, he roomed with me on ICC.
I roomed on one, and my roommate had a CPAP machine that he wasn't using. And it was like I had not been around snoring on that level in quite some time. Shout out to Joey. And it was, I had to put my AirPods in and put on like static music or whatever, because it was bad. I guess if you love someone and you're laying next to them, you're willing to tolerate the snoring to a certain degree. Not really.
If Christy falls asleep before me, it's okay. She'll stay asleep. But if I fall asleep before her, she won't fall asleep.
Does she kick you, hit you?
No.
My ex-wife used to hit me when I snored.
Hit you?
Like nudged me to get me to turn over. She's a saint. She's a saint. It wasn't like that.
.636 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Legally served with Attorney Franz Borghardt. We will continue right now. Pick it back up where we left off. There's a proposed bill in the legislature. I'll go ahead and do the full setup now rather than just diving into the hyperbole. There's a proposed bill in front of the legislature. It's HB 211 by Debbie Villio. It proposes to, well, let me just read you the abstract. Provides relative to the creation, administration, and eligibility requirements of the homelessness court program. It authorizes each district court by rule to designate one or more divisions as a homelessness court program to which participants are assigned.
How are they going to get to court?
How are they going to get to court?
Yeah.
They're probably going to escort over from,
if they're not in jail, they're going to have to, I guess,
hang on.
Wherever they're living.
If they're not in jail, they will have to have bonded out. If they have to have bonded out, that means they're going to have cash.
It's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So you could issue a summons.
Okay.
So you arrest someone for being homeless. You give them a summons with a court date on it.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're still homeless.
Well, so how about this? How do they get to court? Post up your tent in the middle of North Boulevard. Then
Dude,
I mean,
that would be so awesome.
That's what I'm. Yeah, because that's what's good for a city.
Where do the homeless people live downtown?
So they're downtown.
Yeah,
all
besides
over the place.
outside the Guarantee Broadcasting building.
No. That problem was taken care of.
Okay. Like taken care of?
No. Sit in Pulp Fiction. Look at the benches along North Boulevard. You'll find people that sleep there quite regularly, which is so good for them. It's so good for their lives that we could just turn our back on them and say he probably wants to be homeless.
Blessed are the poor.
I know.
Blessed are the poor.
I know. Also,
well, I think we should criminalize that to help them. Let's arrest them to help them.
It's already criminalized in most places.
I know.
This is a step moving towards
an end.
Right. This is moving towards trying to get people help.
So here's the question: rather than this law, why not create the infrastructure for these services, and then go to the individual homeless people and say, "Hey, look, we have all these wonderful services for you. Would you like to voluntarily participate?" And they're going to say,
"Probably not."
Right. Do you think a misdemeanor is going to make them participate?
I think legal action can help nudge them in the right direction, to be sure.
Okay.
My thing with this is the homelessness problem continues to be out of hand.
I would agree with that.
And I don't think it's good for anybody to have homeless all over your downtown. Stepping over people in the street is not the way you want to live.
The language had something about designated campgrounds. Where are designated campgrounds in Baton Rouge?
So
it's not a Breck Park, right?
No, Breck Park's closed at dusk. So
nothing good happens at Breck Parks.
Yeah, the proposed law creates the crime of unauthorized camping on public property and provides that this crime is the intentional use of any tent, shelter, or bedding constructed or arranged for the purpose of or in such a way to permit overnight use on public property that is not a designated campground. Proposed law defines designated campgrounds and public property. I got to go into the full law itself. I don't know where we have designated campgrounds.
I'm sure we do. Right.
But what we keep running into here, and this is why it's such a nasty cycle, is because it's not good for the person to be in the situation they're in. They don't want to voluntarily get out of the situation that they're in, or at least they haven't been, contacted, reached, thrown a bone, whatever. And yet we want to continue with the cycle of, yes, there are those that are like, oh no, homelessness is ugly. But there are those that are like, homelessness is a complete unfulfillment of you as a person.
Okay. I know I'm going to get blowback for this one. There are some people that are homeless by choice.
I see.
There
I don't think so.
Some that are homeless by circumstance, right? If you have a mental health disorder and you can't, hear me out, you have a mental health disorder and things just fall apart and you can't pay your rent, can't pay your mortgage.
Wow.
I mean, what are you going to do?
You could be reconnecting with family at that point.
Right. Presumably. But if you have a mental health issue, are you going to seek that assistance? So I don't, look, it is a law that has
when
the
you
best
say
of
and you should catch hell for saying there are people who are homeless by choice.
I do believe that there are people
I'm just kind of outdoorsy.
No, I don't.
I don't prefer the trappings of today's world.
I have been in the criminal justice system for 20 years, and
I like living on a park bench.
No, I think there's people that instead, speaking of hyperbolic, say, I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to live in a house. I don't want to pay the government money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have sovereign citizens running around. Have you ever seen a sovereign citizen?
Has the sovereign citizen BS ever worked?
It has not.
Okay.
But my point is there are people that straight up choose, I do not want to be a part of a system. I want to do my own thing. And I do think that there is a percentage of people who choose. Dude, I think that there are panhandlers on the street that are genuinely impoverished. And then I think there are panhandlers that should fill out a W-2.
So it's been my experience through like different volunteer efforts and whatnot. The panhandlers aren't the impoverished ones.
Right.
The ones that would need and want help are the ones that are going to show up to like the St. Vincent de Paul kitchen to grab a lunch that's provided for them.
Right.
The ones who have made a series of poor choices. You say it's a choice to be homeless.
I think
the ones that have made series of choices.
I didn't say all homeless people choose it. I would say it is
out of every 10 homeless, how many would you say?
I have no idea.
Actively,
but to say that no people just choose it, there are people that choose to be homeless.
Okay, and to say that you want to ignore all the rest of them. Yes,
I never said that.
If you don't want programs that will help them,
I think this is a good idea that's not going to work. That is what I'm saying.
By the way, side note, I agree with you. I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, I understand. Let's make like a court for homeless people, and we're going to give them a process, and they're going to graduate, and the crime will go away on the back end of the graduation. Okay, it's a 6-month misdemeanor.
Right.
If you were to put them in jail for 6 months, and by the way, they're not going to jail for 6 months.
No.
And they walk out of jail, where are they going? They're going back to the streets.
Right.
All right. And in fact, some would even argue.
But what happens within those 6 months, though?
Well,
that's where all the difference is. That's when they have counselors. That's where there will be people that are designated to help them relocate
if you
and find family.
Someone the opportunity for a housing or a shelter,
right,
and food. But by the way, where's the money going to come for this?
Within the homelessness court? I don't know. Oh, wait, there's a fiscal note. Hang on.
That's a big question.
There's a fiscal note attached to it. Ooh, there's 2 fiscal notes attached to it.
The state won't be responsible for these courts.
Hang on, it's showing a fiscal note of 0. That doesn't sound right at all. All right, I'm not reading that whole thing while we're doing live radio.
So here's the thing. If I were a citizen, I'd be like, who's paying for this?
We all are, Franz.
Isn't that the answer every time? Who's paying for it? We all are paying for it.
I mean, because, as it stands right now, when you've got tents popped up along the side of Bluebonnet Boulevard, we all are.
And even the definition of tent in there, because some of them are tents, and some of them are tarp that is rolled up like a burrito.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that ugly. I mean, it's not a tent.
No, I know. And it's sad to see, and you wish someone would do something about it. Right. But the problem is every time somebody wants to try to do something about it, we crap all over what they want to do about it because we all have a better answer, but nobody comes forth with a better answer.
I will say this. I think criminalization is not the answer. I think creating programs or funding existing programs might.
I think doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is a definition of crazy.
Like some homeless people.
Right. So, but we have programs.
Right.
We have multiple programs, but you got to lead the horse to water to get the horse to drink.
So here's the legitimate question, not a comment, not a criticism, not legal analysis. If I'm homeless today and I want to go to a shelter, there are shelters that exist in Baton Rouge. How long can I stay in a shelter before I get out?
Depends on the shelter.
Right. They open up at a certain time. You can go in. There's certain services you get at the shelter. And at some point they say you need to leave.
I would say I've got to be a minimum of 30 days.
I don't know.
Right.
And then within that 30-day window,
into that.
Yeah, within that 30-day window, you got to be doing certain things.
We can dig into that. Tell you what, let's take a quick break. On the back end of the break, Kyron Lacey's family has decided to sue state police. We'll talk about that.
Hey, speaking about things we're going to pay for.
Right. Before we take our break, I want to remind you about 180 Pros, 180pros.com. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. Learn more at 180pros.com or give them a call, 225-330-2200. When it comes to having an IT partner, 180 Pros is all about building a relationship. And we know when it comes to relationships, long-distance relationships don't work. You need an IT partner who's here in Baton Rouge. If something goes wrong with your network and someone has to come out, do you want your network subject to the traffic on I-10? Coming in from Lafayette, stuck on the Atchafalaya while you're down and can't do business? That's what 180 Pros is all about. Yes, they have all the tech. Yes, they have all the expertise. Yes, they have all the certifications. Yes, you're going to get the latest in cybersecurity. But more than that, you are going to have a partner. You're going to have same-day response time, simplified billing. Learn more at 180pros.com, 180pros.com. No, I know, and this is where we got weather, attorney Franz. We use the hyperbolic. No. We've got to break you. We've got to break you. We've got to. We've got a break here. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. Attorney Franz Borghardt is in for Legally Served. We'll pick it up right there on the way back in.
Galen writes, maybe the crawfish peeling companies could host the homeless in return for their labor. Problem solved. But we agree that hunting human beings, homeless people, is not okay, right?
Hunting them to find them or hunting them to kill them?
Yeah.
No, that was either or, not a yes or no.
I mean, I guess. I mean, if it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, maybe. If it's a Mario Van Peebles movie. What's your favorite Mario Van Peebles movie?
New Jack City.
Right.
That's the answer.
Highlander 3 is a close second for me.
I don't know.
Now a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
This is about as bad as it gets for drivers on westbound I-10. We are at about the hour and a half mark with this major crash.
So I guess you're taking the old way to Lafayette from.
Well, so here's the fun part. My client's not going.
Wait, what?
So my client's not even going. He just told me he's not going. So what's the old way to Lafayette?
190.
I did go to 190 yesterday. It was nice.
You'd stop at Billy's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I landed mid-city on the way back. So 190 works out great because I go over Old Bridge.
Yeah.
And then
Old Bridge airline
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to, yeah. It's actually easier for
it shut me out on Main Street yesterday. And then I went down Main Street to Acadian, Florida, all the way down Florida. I call Florida.
I
the
don't
Audubon.
even get on 110. Well, I guess you
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
No, I would just, you come off the Old Bridge, you're on airline.
Right.
Airline,
Just
you
go
come all the way up to.
I like 190. It's peaceful.
I do podcasting and books when I drive.
What was Crappin' Pants saying?
Oh, so glad you're back.
Oh.
Marjorie, I'm so glad you're back. He was being weird, but.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
And then, like, he breathed on the phone, and I'm like,
That's creepy.
Very weird.
That's creepy.
Marjorie.
I know.
His name is Marjorie?
No, hers.
And I don't know what his name is.
He won't tell you.
Well, he's probably going to hate you now because I had you hang up.
Sir, I do not allow stalking unless I know the name of the person who's stalking me.
But this is the same man that, like, told JP to go kill him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm like,
Pretty sure this is the same man who we had to put his picture up front so he couldn't come looking for me anymore. So, well, he thinks the East Feliciana Sheriff's Office is trying to kill him.
And you're in league with the East Feliciana Parish.
He wanted me to help him.
And you didn't.
I did not.
And so then he, like.
Was he homeless?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, thanks to Obama, he could still have a phone. You ready for hyperbole? A reading from the book of Matthew 25:35. For I was hungry, and Franz said you probably wanted to be hungry.
I break bread.
By the way, shout out to our good friend Deborah Todd reminding me about one of the places where you can get help for the homeless. The Grove is literally doing God's work on earth.
So help me out. Where in this book called the Bible does Jesus say, let's arrest the homeless?
No, it's just for I was hungry and you gave me to eat.
Right. It didn't
I
say
was naked and you clothed me.
I was hungry and you arrested me.
Hey, there's only one way to get
you are naked.
There's only one way to get some clothes on you. Look, at least they're getting clothes on them. Might be a big orange jumper, but it's happening.
No. We're going to drop all the naked homeless people off at a nude beach.
They
can be there, right?
Designated campground.
You ever notice the people on nude beach are the people you least want to see nude?
Yes.
Did you just watch Caroline's Comedy Hour on A&E?
I'm just saying. It's the least people you.
Thank you, Richard Jenny. Wow,
maybe they should have like a doorman to the nude beach.
I don't
to make
know.
The decision
I don't know that we're going to be able
to
to pivot back into an actual topic here, but we do
it's
have
my
an
fault.
actual topic. No. I'm the one that kept it going after break. I'm the one that kept it going after break, so this is on me. However, we do have an actual topic to cover here. Kyron Lacey's family suing Louisiana State Police. Let's talk about it.
Botched investigation, rigged investigation.
Oh, okay, so tell me the difference between rigged and botched, because I don't know.
Botched is I didn't do my job, I'm incompetent, and I didn't give anyone an opportunity for justice. Rigged is, hey, witness, I'm going to tell you what to say. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, which is kind of part of the allegations, right?
Yes. Yeah, because it wasn't just botched. It was, I'm digging back through here because I've got more than one story open on it. I want to find the right one. There's video footage that shows or suggests otherwise.
Right.
The video suggests that he wasn't at fault. And that means you have to either have a whole lot of people think the same wrong thing, or you have to tell people you're thinking the wrong thing.
Do you believe that someone can be responsible for suicide? Yeah, right.
Yes. That's the bigger question. Right. All right, let's assume we're going to walk under the and I know you don't like to assume in the law, but based off of the information we have in front of us, because neither one of us is actually working this case, because A, I'm not a lawyer, and B, it's just not yours. But let's assume that they're able to prove that this was not just botched but fabricated.
Okay.
Intentionally.
Right.
Okay.
He would have a civil rights case against the state of Louisiana, against the state police. He would have been acquitted or not prosecuted for any charges.
Right.
The fact, and by the way, he would have, had he not committed suicide, he would have definitely had an economic loss in the time period from the arrest to when he was ultimately exonerated that would have cost him millions of dollars. Correct?
Say that one more time.
Okay. So if this never happens, does he go NFL? Does he make millions of dollars one day?
If
NIL?
the accident never happens or if the suicide never happens?
Both.
Okay, so if the suicide never happens, probably not, because of the case that's stacked up against him. The NFL does not have a reason to.
So let's say this accident never happens, or the accident happens and it's clearly not his fault, and immediately it comes out that it's not his fault. Does he still have a future in the NFL? Because that's part of his damages they're alleging.
If he's fully exonerated, he might.
Right.
But here's the thing with that. We've seen before, the NFL has a want to stay away from the bad story because they have no reason to dive into and take your side in the bad story. Lyle Collins, former LSU offensive lineman, should have been a first-round pick, probably should have been a top 10 pick, but had charges against him that, well, I don't remember if it was charges or just an allegation. But until he was completely exonerated, no one was going to touch him. Probable first-round pick, ends up undrafted free agent. He's still crushing it in the league. Dallas took a shot on him as an undrafted free agent. But if you're an NFL franchise, you're not going to put millions of dollars in investment into somebody that could potentially have something hanging over their head.
So that the issues for this family are going to be, one, they have to prove what they're asserting.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they have to prove the damages that were caused were the cause of the state police and not someone else.
Right.
And I mean that lovingly and caringly.
Which means you have to prove that they fabricated or coerced witnesses.
Right.
It can't just be the reports were inaccurate.
Right. Incompetence is a difficult I mean, like course and scope not doing the job you wanted them to do is one thing. Straight up railroading someone is a violation of civil rights.
Right.
I would argue that incompetence should be a violation of civil rights, but you get certain liability shielding.
Where does incompetence cross the line to malfeasance?
Deliberate indifference.
Okay. Oh, okay. Not deliberate action, deliberate indifference.
Indifference and action can both be, but I'm saying those are not. It's not one or the other. Like I don't care to the degree that the wrong person gets arrested and convicted of a crime. Yeah, that's a problem.
So the defendants in the case are, of course, Louisiana State Police, Trooper Tyler Werner and Sergeant Lehman Howard. The allegations are that troopers, quote, intentionally fabricated evidence and manipulated a 2024 crash report to wrongfully implicate Lacey in a fatal December 17th accident that killed 78-year-old Herman Hall. So what they have to do is what Lacey's family has to do is prove that the fabrication was intentional, right? And like
that it was a fabrication. Not just, I was supposed to talk to this witness and I didn't talk to this witness.
Yeah.
A deliberate action to basically change the course and trajectory of the investigation.
Okay.
So look, if they can do that, they're going to get damages. The question I have is what does a judge or a jury do with this? Does a judge or jury say, well, your railroading of this guy caused him in part to have a mental health issue such that he committed suicide?
So that's the part and we only got 30 seconds left. That's the part that I think is going to be darn near impossible to prove.
This case settles. This case settles. I don't
for a big number.
Yeah. If in fact the allegations are true, yeah, it settles. I mean, if you're the state of Louisiana, you're insured. You've got some money, your taxpayer money.
He's attorney Franz Borghardt. We do Legally Served every week. Always appreciate the time, brother.
Yep.
Here comes news. All right, I'm gonna go let my next guest in. He's waiting patiently outside.
What were the names of the two guys in the 1980s movie that made a bet that they could turn Eddie Murphy, or they could trading places?
Yeah.
Weren't they homeless?
Randolph and Mortimer. They were homeless and coming to America. They went broke with the frozen orange juice futures.
Yeah.
Okay, is that going north or is that coming toward that bridge? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
In testimony Tuesday, Camp Mystic co-director Edward Eastman described his desperate attempt to rescue campers from rising water. That was demonstrated. Plaintiff's lawyer Brad Beckworth says Eastman should still have been getting flood warnings on his phone. Were you holding on to your phone in the tree with all those girls? No, sir. It was still in my truck. Testimony came as part of a lawsuit filed by the family of camper who sealed the scooter. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Pushing Amendment 3, which we need to. Right. Oh, did you want a water, some coffee or something?
I'm good, thank you. Here?
Yep.
All right.
So there's another wreck now. I'll put it on here.
All right.
If people are trying to get away from what's going on top of the new bridge, and now there's a wreck.
I came up government instead of coming up. I've got a place over on corporate, and
okay,
it was.
So you stay in town?
Yeah.
I'm always curious what the cutoff is for.
I mean, I'll drive back and forth some, but I bought a place here. My whole family stays here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't get there.
He didn't have anything on it at all.
Nope.
Oh, Breedlin, it's Representative Carlson.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
All right, he didn't have anything on it, so I'll lead with it before top stories and trending. Did you get the name of the caller?
I think this is him. Talk 1073. Yes. 2 right lanes are blocked.
On 110 northbound?
Yeah, going toward. What is your name, real fast? Mike.
Mike?
Yeah.
It's 110 northbound?
It's 110 northbound, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Okay, bye. You said it was 1 lane, now it's 2. Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful morning.
Awesome.
I know. .705 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. We've got a busy hour this hour, y'all. State Representative Josh Carlson is in the house. We got a couple of his bills. One in particular that I have some questions about, and quite honestly, I was a little bit hyperbolic about the other day. We'll call it the Paul Blart bill. We're going to talk about it coming up at 7:15. Representative Carlson wants to give legal liability protection to armed security guards. And there's one particular instance in mind that comes up in my mind that we'll hash out in about 10 minutes from right now. Also this hour, the Parade of Homes is coming up over the next 2 weekends. We'll dive into that discussion. Hey, before we get to top stories and trending, give a big shout out to Mike. There's no better eyes and ears on traffic than you out there who's actually in traffic. So shout out to Mike, who lets us know that if you're rerouting as a result of what's going on I-10 westbound on the upslope of the bridge, if you wanted to take 110 northbound to get to the old bridge, might want to rethink that, because there's an accident 110 northbound near Chippewa going towards the old bridge that has 2 lanes blocked. So you can still squeeze by on that other lane, but your delays on 110 northbound are going to be pretty pronounced if you're trying to skip past the I-10 delays to get around that. So best advice would be, if you are before that 10-110 split, hop off Scenic. We'll take you up that way. If you're far enough back, if you're still back on 12, Airline to get you to the old bridge. All right, top stories and trending. Let's roll. Mm-hmm. Starts us off with our good friends over at Rev. Rev is introducing Rev Fiber as a flagship product brand. Per the press release, South Louisiana's largest locally owned broadband provider announced yesterday the launch of Rev Fiber, its flagship product brand for fiber internet services. Also, per the press release, this evolution reinforces the company's commitment to fiber optic network, builds an expansion that accelerates across South Louisiana. Keep seeing fiber stories, and I love it, man. Keep connecting. Prosecutors will seek the death penalty for Gad Black. He's the 42-year-old man charged with murder for allegedly ramming and running over Baton Rouge Police Sergeant Caleb Eisworth with his pickup last June. District Attorney Hiller Moore did file the motion Tuesday morning, making the court aware that his office will seek execution for Black, who is facing a charge of first-degree murder. Amazon's making another move here in Louisiana. This time, they're dropping $10.8 billion to acquire Global Star out of Covington. The deal gives Amazon access to Global Star's satellite network, infrastructure, and valuable spectrum, accelerating their ability to deliver direct-to-device connectivity for phones and other devices. Deputies are investigating a death out at Angola prison that took place Tuesday afternoon, according to the West Feliciana Parish Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Brian Spillman confirmed an inmate died and that detectives are currently investigating a, quote, unusual occurrence. The Hilton... All right, so LSU students of the 90s rejoice. The Hilton Baton Rouge Capitol Center on Lafayette Street will be renovated into a Sports Illustrated resort. We get to go to Sports Illustrated again. The resort is a new concept by Florida real estate company Travel and Leisure Company that reimagines hotels and sports hotspots with the magazine's branding. The company chose Baton Rouge as their next location, obviously because, LSU. Alumnus Shaquille O'Neal reportedly will be investing big time in the project. You see, Bree Lynn, before there was Reggie's, it was sports. And before it was sports, it was actually Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
So when you're old like me and remember the good old days of like the early to mid 90s, God, it was 30 years ago.
But I remember Sports Illustrated.
You remember Sports Illustrated?
Yes, I do. We used to get it to the house.
Do what?
We used to get the magazine.
Oh, you remember the magazine. I'm talking about the nightclub. I'm talking about the bar.
Oh, no,
yeah.
No, I don't.
Going home with sticky shoes every single week. Oh.
Gross.
It was awful. That place was terrible.
Well, I know of Gold Club. Was this before Gold Club?
What? No. That's a gentleman's establishment.
Wait, bro.
Completely.
Totally.
No, Sports Illustrated was right next door to Fred's in Tigerland. Okay. The Gold Club was off Bennington.
Okay.
And
two totally different.
I
thought this was a gentleman. Okay.
No, Sports Illustrated, not a gentleman's establishment. That's where freshmen would get hammered and start fights. Yeah.
Okay. President Trump is signaling another round of talks with Iran, and it could be just days away. The Wall Street Journal reports Saudi Arabia is now pressing the U.S. to scale back.
Sports was where I first tried Goldschlager. That's...
Oh, gross.
I'm sorry. You were saying about the Trump and the negotiation. Yeah, sorry. Yes. Real news happening?
Yeah, real news.
Okay, fine. Saudi Arabia wants us to scale back on what? Demands?
That's what I'm wondering. Scale back on what?
Because pictures of the president as Jesus?
Because God, I saw that.
I know. He was with the Red Cross. He was a doctor healing people with his glowing hand.
I know. And then the press just fed into it.
I know. Well, which is exactly why he posted it.
Right.
Oh, something shiny. Let's chase it.
Right. All right. Today is tax day. But like Brian said last hour, does it really matter anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
My taxes have been filed for some time. I mean, and I'm not like bragging like I'm, some kind of punctual person who's responsible with his books. But, when you need tuition help sometimes, you got to hand in your returns. So
hold on. Let's correct that. Christy handed in the returns.
I filed the taxes. It doesn't matter. I mean, yes.
I know, but she made sure it got done.
You're right. No. Yes.
She made sure it got done.
I filed the taxes promptly after she reminded me for 3 straight weeks.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Interesting follow-up to yesterday's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announcement. Both Phil Collins and Oasis will be inducted into the same crop of performers. The only thing is they hate each other.
I love this.
I love it too.
This is a 30-year-old feud.
I know. And they're going to be in the same room, potentially on the same stage when they announce everybody.
Right. And there's going to be a big event in November.
Yeah.
You wonder if they're going to fight.
So last hour, I talked about the whole Phil Collins aggressively said, no, I'm sorry. Noel Gallagher of Oasis aggressively said he wanted Phil Collins, his whole head in a fridge. Yeah,
his
that
whole
level.
Head. There's going to be so much tension.
I know.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Sorry, that was where I picked up where I left off because I had 3 of them in the first hour. I had to get at least one more.
Phil Collins didn't just sit quiet either. He fired back at the Gallagher brothers saying they're not as talented as they think. They're straight up horrible. So it'll be awkward.
Studio.
Yep. Stop. I know all these Phil Collins references too.
I had to go to the studio one more time just because it's such a fun word to say. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we're diving into the legislative session. State Representative Josh Carlson's in with us. Before we take that break, I want to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes. Who is Industry Makes? I'm glad you asked. Industry Makes is a collective voice of those who work in industry and manufacturing in Louisiana, those that provide a number of jobs for the Louisianans, those who literally build everything we use on a daily basis, whether you talk about the shoes on your feet, the tires on your car, or heck, for that matter, the roads under those tires. Louisiana's manufacturing section and the businesses support it just can't sit idly by while others tell their story. Industry Makes is that return serve. When you see groups get together to protest industry in Louisiana, Industry Makes is stepping up for industry. So let others make noise. We'll make everything else. Learn more at industrymakes.org. Oh, up to speed. There we go.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
You had consolidated sales tax, right?
Yep.
How did that go? Did it go
down in flames?
Okay.
In committee.
I thought I remembered that.
I think we do have a path forward and learned a few things in committee and had some good ideas. So
I don't know what you possibly learn at this point. Local sheriffs don't want it. I mean,
correct, but I think there's a way we can take away everybody's complaints except for the sheriff in Jefferson, who's taking 10 to 12% as a collection fee.
Jefferson's the problem.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Jefferson, it'd already be done.
He was a conservative legislator before he became sheriff.
Correct. But
my cousin's kind of third in command. It's like you got Lepinto, and then my cousin's like the next line down.
No, only 6 sheriffs collect. None of them really care. Yeah. Some of them kind of, but Lepinto comes in and is like, "This is tens of millions of dollars for me, and I'm opposed."
Which is so weird because Jefferson Parish is very affluent, and I can't imagine a world where they don't order 1 million things online. And his revenue would go through the roof.
Agreed.
Okay. And to be clear, my cousin doesn't dabble in the politics ends. He's like handles crime.
Actually, law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$7:16 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Time for us to dive back into the legislative session. State Representative Josh Carlson's in the house. How are you, sir?
Doing very well. Thank you for having me.
No, glad to have you in the studio. Last time you were on the phone, we were previewing centralized sales tax collection, and a few other items.
We were.
That is the white whale, is it not?
A work in progress.
I understand. Look, I'm a huge fan of it. I hesitate to say centralized sales tax collection more than once because magically Jason DeQueer will appear. Like Beetlejuice, he just shows up if you say it 3 times. But no, it's one that he and I share the soapbox on. and just cannot shout it loud enough for the people in the cheap seats. It's good for the state, and it's good for your tax district.
No, that's right. It's the one area, we did this massive tax reform last year, and it's the one area of taxes that we didn't touch. And it's the one thing left undone that we still have to address if we're really going to make our state competitive.
Yeah. No. And by the way, flush.
People don't realize that. People are concerned about the amount of revenue that's going to come in. It will be a massive windfall for every municipality, every taxing entity, because all those businesses that don't pay taxes,
right,
because they don't meet the threshold, or because they don't think that dry prong Louisiana is going to come after them for not filing sales tax, will start to receive that revenue.
Right. And you, the small business owner who opened up a physical brick and mortar storefront, are penalized when compared to those that don't employ people.
That's right. It's not a big business issue solely. It's a small business that you sell one time in some random parish, and you have to forever file a sales tax report there. But the business across the border in Texas never does.
See, now I'm all fired up and hot. As Representative Carlson is one of my biggest one. Okay. Woo-saw, as Bad Boys 2 would say. You've got a bill out there right now, HB 71.
You called it the Paul Blart Mall Cop bill.
I did.
I texted you while I was in committee. And I said I have to come on the radio because you called it the Paul Blart Mall Cop bill.
So because it kind of a little bit might be. We're gonna read the digest because we don't read the full bill because so much legalese. All right.
Absolutely.
The abstract says provides that armed security officers are authorized persons for concealed handgun permits and subject to a limitation of liability in certain circumstances. Present law provides a limitation of liability for damages related to the justified use of force or self-defense through the discharge of a firearm by an authorized person. Proposed law retains present law and adds armed security officers as authorized persons. Now, from that, how am I not supposed to extrapolate that minimum wage with a gun is going to be afforded the same protections as a police officer?
So we're going to legislator school today, and you have to know, as the legislator, you can never make a decision based off the digest.
I know, but as a broadcaster, I can't read the full bill.
All right, so here's the deal. Right now, law enforcement, ex-military, and citizens that have gone through the concealed carry class and still gotten their concealed carry permit, right? A couple years ago, we passed constitutional carry so that you can carry a firearm without any additional training. That's your constitutional right.
Right.
But if you still go through the constitutional or the concealed carry course to get your permit, it protects you from civil liability so that if you use your weapon and it's deemed justified by the responding law enforcement agency and the district attorney, so it's a justified use of force, you cannot be personally sued to protect you from using your gun to defend yourself, your property, your family. You only need an 8-hour course to obtain that concealed carry permit.
Correct.
That's usually 6-7 hours in a classroom and maybe 30 minutes an hour of actually shooting, and that's it.
Right.
I wanted to extend that liability protection to our armed security guards who go through at least 3 times the amount of training as a regular citizen. Most of them are retired law enforcement, or a lot of them are, or have prior military experience. And in New Orleans, there have been multiple cases. Perfect example. A couple years ago, there was an armed security officer in CVS on Canal. Guy comes in, starts trashing the place, starts beating on people. He tries to get him to stop repeatedly, until the guy finally turned on that security guard, started beating on him when he felt like he was about to lose consciousness, pulled his gun, fired, killed the guy. It was deemed a justifiable shoot by law enforcement and the DA. It was finally settled, but it took 2 years of the guy's life being in limbo, over $200,000 to defend it. We have security companies that are going out of business or can't get insurance because of that reason.
Okay. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. However, is there a concern that this is going to tell security guards, armed security guards, that you have license to act in a much more bold fashion? Because concealed carry permit training is about proficiency and it's about safety. It's not about the same level of training that police officers get when it comes to de-escalation and figuring out like how to get to the bottom of a situation without pulling your weapon. That example you gave right there is the perfect reason to write this bill. But I'm going to give you an example that would be the perfect reason not to.
Okay.
Take you back about 13, 14 years. George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. If this bill were around, now I know George Zimmerman did what he did. He was emboldened because of his job as a security guard or neighborhood watch or whatever. But this bill right here, to me, would make him even more bold.
So this bill doesn't say you're free to do whatever you want without any liability or any risk of liability. It says you have to use proper judgment. You're going to get 3 times the amount of training in proficiency and when to use your firearm.
But proficiency and safety are not de-escalation.
They are not.
They're not conflict resolution.
They're not. So the Armed Security Licensing Board is working to align that training with POST, the same training that police officers get. And it still has to be deemed justifiable. So it doesn't mean you're not going to be investigated. It doesn't mean I can just pull my weapon and start shooting around. And it has to be investigated by the law enforcement agency that's responding, by the district attorney, and still deemed justifiable before you have that protection. Otherwise, if the law enforcement agency says, no, you should have done X, Y, Z before, you should not have used deadly force, you should not have discharged your firearm, you don't have that protection.
But point me to the security guard who, in that moment when the adrenaline's pumping and the thing's going down, doesn't fully believe that they're justified from jump. Everything you're talking about is after a life has been taken. Everything you're talking about is after the incident is over, and it's hindsight is 2020, and maybe he'll have the protection or maybe he doesn't. My argument with this is when this law goes into effect, he's going to believe because of his own, like he's going to believe in that moment, like I've got protection, I can do this.
He might believe that, but my bill doesn't determine or doesn't speak to what the armed security guard believes at the moment.
Right.
It goes to what does that responding district attorney and law enforcement agency believe? Should he have used that force, or was there another path forward? Was he justified? Was it a life and death situation and that warranted that level of response or not before he receives that protection?
How'd it go? Is it today or yesterday in committee?
It was out of committee.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was in committee on Monday, out of committee, and so should be on the House floor probably Monday.
Okay. What kind of feedback did you get in committee?
I think there was a few folks that were concerned, raised the same concern as you. And look, I think that's valid. But when you look at the amount of training that goes into it, how can you afford you or I having that level of protection, an 8-hour course, when an armed security guard has minimum 24 hours of training, and in many cases, a lot more. And I think this is important so that we can have armed security that supplements what law enforcement is doing.
Now, if I could take off my morning show host hat and put on my everyday citizen hat, then I'm going to turn around and say we are living in a time and place where police officers, every police department that we see is at a shortage, is short of police officers, so they can't be everywhere at once. Even if they were fully staffed, they couldn't be everywhere at once. This enables people who want to do good to be able to have the reinforcement to do good on the back end, provided the investigation works out the way they should. So, I'll make some arguments against it, but I definitely see your arguments for it. The run through me one more time who would be eligible for it.
So currently, ex-military, law enforcement, and anyone who goes through a concealed carry.
Well, law enforcement's already there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And law enforcement's protection is far beyond this. They have qualified immunity, which is far beyond this level of protection.
Right.
It really protects them from anything that they do on the job. But they're included in this category. And then average citizens who go through an 8-hour concealed carry handgun course and get their concealed carry permit
with the added
are already protected.
Right.
This would just add an armed private security officer that's gone through their level of training, which is 3 times what the average citizen is. They would be a qualified or authorized person under this bill.
I think you might have talked me into it. You might have talked me into it.
It still will. You are always going to call it the Paul Blart Malcott building.
Well, I better. I mean, it's who better to represent then, It's
if I wasn't in Baton Rouge, I was going to show up to the studio this morning with a picture of Paul Blart, but I could not find it in time.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right. We got State Representative Josh Carlson in with us. By the way, it's HB 71. If you're a nerd like me and you follow these things, while we got you in here, and we got about 3 minutes left. What else is hot right now? What that you're working on?
So actually coming up on, let's see, I'm trying to think when it'll be on the House floor. Actually, it should be up today. There's a bill that would require mayors to receive 16 hours of training every year. And for what? So we have, especially in a lot of our small towns, but we have mayors that don't turn in their financials and don't get audits every year, that don't know how to manage water sectors, that get money allocated in capital outlay here in Baton Rouge and then don't fill out the one-page form they need to actually get the money. And so having our sheriffs, our chiefs of police, our district attorneys, our judges, our tax assessors all go through and have required ongoing professional development. Our mayors do not. And so LMA came to me, the Louisiana Municipal Association came to me and said, look, would you consider running this bill? We want to require and self-impose 16 hours of yearly training on all municipal mayors in the state of Louisiana. We think it's going to be good for the mayor, good for the city, good for the citizens that they represent.
And this would apply up and down regardless of population size.
That is correct. I think training's good for everyone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm there with you. That's a good.
So that'll be on the House floor today.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Overall for the session, though, just kind of zooming way out. Overall for the session, how are things? Because we had the governor on yesterday, and he did not like push an entire package of bills out there. He's been keeping his eye on things, but it's kind of like y'all get to rule the roost this time.
We do, and I think you see the main focus is workforce development, right? We have all of these major projects coming to the state, hundreds of billions of dollars of investment, tens of thousands of jobs, and we don't have a qualified workforce in many cases to fill all of those jobs. And so you see the legislature really looking at every aspect from education, workforce development. How do we prepare Louisiana to fill those jobs?
There are going to be so many that need to be filled in so many different facets. I love that we're out in front on this. Susie Shawin's got to be digging this session from top to bottom.
She loves it. I mean, I think I've seen her in almost every committee meeting because there's some bill every single day that's happening that involves LA Works and our streamlining our pipeline from education into the workforce.
Not to get all Schoolhouse Rocks on it, but like, how interactive is that relationship between Susan Bourgeois and the legislature, between Susie Shawin, to make sure that good legislation gets its due attention?
Yeah, look, she is. She is constantly in communication with legislators. She came and spoke to the Republican delegation yesterday. Both of them, they are constantly in front of us and make themselves and their departments available because of how critical this is.
He is State Representative Josh Carlson. Thank you so much for a couple minutes this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Always. We got news, traffic, weather on the way. Do need to remind you about Guarantee Health Solutions. GuaranteeHealth.com is the website. GuaranteeHealth.com. If you work in a medical office, regardless of the type of medical office, it could be general practitioner, something that specializes, urgent care, whatever the case might be, Guarantee Health has put together a 4-pillar approach that can help you grow, help you scale, all the while taking better care of your patients, because that's where they start. They start on the hospitality front to make sure that relationship is solid, and then you grow from there. It's a 4-pillar process. They build, they attract, they deliver, they measure. Learn more at GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. It's basically a full-service healthcare marketing and growth partner, but like I said, it starts on the hospitality front and taking care of those that you are taking care of. Learn more at GuaranteeHealth.com. All right, we got a quick break coming up for news, traffic, weather on the back end. The Parade of Homes is coming to town this coming weekend and next weekend. We've got Karen Perfida that's going to join us next. Awesome stuff.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let me know if you need anything.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, I will.
Thank you for everything.
I think I'm going out to the Iberville. Iberville's got their reception tonight at the Capitol Park.
I believe so.
I'm going to go to that. Also,
swing by the barracks. The Acadiana delegation's doing a crawfish boil
tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want some crawfish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. You got a tray. 1 or 2?
2. I want to bring somebody from sales with me.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll do.
What time? At 5? Or
let me check. Let's see real quick. I usually. 5:30.
5:30?
Yep.
We'll be there. Cool. See. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
I'm John Burns in Top 107.3 Factories Newsroom. A bill that would force a top opportunity or top performance recipient to prepay their state-funded scholarship makes it out of house education. Here's Jeff Blair.
Hello. Fantastic. How are you doing?
Good to see you, Mother Angela.
Angela, good to see you again. Y'all come on in. Y'all remember Breland?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, hi again. I love your St. Jude.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
I have the same one.
Yep, we're right in the midst of it. We got electrical trim out today and hardware placement for the house.
Oh,
I do the house, the St. Jude house with Alvarez.
Oh,
Every
the
year.
dream home.
Mhm.
Okay.
And St. Jude at the Derby's coming up.
Yes.
May 2nd. It's so much fun.
I'm very disappointed I will not be
I
here.
used to be the program director at Wing. So
Oh,
I'm very WYK.
nice.
So I'm very
Familiar.
St. Jude always holds a special place in my heart.
I'm
I
here.
toured the hospital.
Yes.
Yes.
And
The hospital's
you're
amazing.
here, and then-
They do a builder summit every year.
You know what?
Oh, so
And so they bring
Oh, my
all the
God.
builders.
Yeah, I got to go last year.
I'm gonna put this over here. They do this whole thing. So all the builders come together. We share ideas. We share campaign concepts,
I love that.
and all the things that combined efforts. Right.
Brian,
I'm so short.
Email from this lady the other day. I sent out a mass email, and she said, "Profita, I recognize that name. I used to listen to Bill all the time. God rest his soul." He had the praying hands and everything.
Oh my God. That's morbid.
What did you hear?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, did something just happen? Nobody told me.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Mom.
Oh.
You're like, no need to pray. He's still here.
I said, Bill, you're not looking good, man. They're writing you off.
Man, that's hilarious.
That's when you do like a quick little Google search before you say something. Like, I'm just going to make sure that's right before I actually say it.
Oh.
Mm-mm. So no more headphones in the radio world. I just realized. I just thought about it. I was
I
like,
have mine. But
You have
we're
yours?
yeah, but
Yeah.
y'all don't need it because it's just us talking.
Yeah.
That Bill used to always
Oh, sorry.
insist on
the
that. We guys have
you, full name and title was
Angela Poirier.
Poirier. That's-
Mhm.
Sorry.
That's okay. And president of the HBA.
And she's got a cave in the house.
Yes.
Now I want to call it that.
Sorry, yeah. I was just telling Karen how no one ever actually truly, they always say the company name randomly mixed up words.
I'm sorry. With the company name of.
Ignore us.
Oh, okay.
We're just chit chatting.
We got up too early. We
I don't
started
want
with
to I want to tell you how to say it wrong because then it might be wrong.
Okay. That's fair.
We started
Well,
with-
I'm going to botch it either way.
Yeah. No, we've been going since 4 o'clock. Well,
yeah.
technically
Oh, my.
up at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt Venezia. I don't know how he gets up early every morning.
I don't know either.
And then they drive all over, so sometimes you're having to puff it out.
Yeah.
How are your kiddos?
Good.
Mhm.
Good. Carrie is now a Delta Gamma
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
at Southern Miss.
That's cool.
So yeah, she got her. She took part in this. It was called the Jump program.
Mhm.
It was a Jump Start program at Southern Miss. It's
Yeah.
like, she went to school 3 weeks early and took one condensed class while she was
Mhm.
there.
That's so good.
Awesome.
And then ended up with a 3.6 for her first semester. So
Nice.
Yay.
Dean's List, awesome. But because of the program, she wasn't allowed to rush.
Yeah.
She had to wait till spring to rush.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That makes sense. My son's a freshman too
at
Belhaven.
okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
We like Southern Miss though. That was our set number 2.
I could not be happier.
I really like the whole thing. I like the professors, the campus, the
President.
location. Everything was nice.
When the president showed up on the tour,
Mm-hmm.
it's so personalized.
Yeah.
When the president shows up at orientation,
Oh.
Yeah.
because you've already got us.
Mhm.
We've
Yeah,
already
need to be
written,
here.
we've already
Yeah.
written the check.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That makes a difference.
yeah.
Mhm.
736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Time to welcome back the Home Builders Association of Greater Baton Rouge to the studio. We've got Karen Profita and Angela Poirier in with us. The Parade of Homes coming up. Welcome back, y'all. How you doing?
Doing great. We're tired. We're getting ready.
Well, you're tired. It hadn't even started yet.
These are fresh houses. You know, it's like fresh picked berries, right? They're finishing them up right now. So everybody's rushing around. So it's perfect when everybody comes to see them.
So a Parade of Homes coming up this weekend and next weekend, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Walk me through for the completely uninitiated. What is a Parade of Homes?
Yeah, it is an opportunity to go see brand new homes, see the latest trends, see everything that's happening in it. We've got builders all over. So we have 38 houses this year. We're in East Baton Rouge, Livingston, and Ascension, and it's 24 different builders. And you're going to see houses everywhere from in the 200,000 to 5 million. And I mean, it's a real treat. So some of it's just, we're nosy, right? You drive past this gorgeous house and go, I wonder what it's like inside. This is your chance.
An opportunity to see something that you'll never be able to see because some of them are going to be private homes right after.
Okay. Okay. Now, how do you get eligible for the Parade of Homes? Like who determines what the 38 houses are or like, who puts a number on it?
Right. So, we've got 800 plus members. So we're 25th largest HBA in the country. There's 600 of them, but Baton Rouge is a great group. And our builders, every year they let us know. They're kind of watching, going, can I have the house done in time, be able to put it on parade?
Right.
And so they come to us. We say, we're putting it on. Here's our dates. And then we start seeing which ones work out and get them all in there. Then.
Why is it called a parade? I mean, there's no marching bands. There's no throws.
You don't know.
I mean, we could make that happen. I mean, because you're parading from one house to the next. And technically, you're almost as a group. Like you're going to see, like you see some people at one house and you're just going, and then they're at the next house with you, the next house, and then you're having these conversations, like comparing with each other, people you don't know, and now becoming part of your conversation about what you've seen.
All right, but it's more like a pub crawl.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
I mean, now we're incorporating beer.
Here we go.
And drinks.
Here we go.
Yeah,
I have ideas.
Yes, you do. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, but so that you get with these other people, get judgmental.
Yeah,
I thought that
in a positive way.
Well, okay, but not just judgmental, but creative. And I think that's the biggest part of this.
Yes.
If you're in the market for a home, this is a must.
Yes.
But I'll think Chris and we redid our master bathroom late last year.
Yes.
Because our house was built in 1964. We called David Duvall at One Bath and Closet. He knocked it out. Like if you are looking for an idea on I don't want to say a stale house, but like if your house wasn't. If you didn't build your house wasn't built for you.
Yes.
Well, that's true. That's true. And look, remodeling is huge right now. We have a remodelers council as well. It's growing because nationally we're seeing that as a trend.
Yes.
People have great interest rates. They don't want to give up. They want to stay in that house. Well, you still, and even something as simple as a new paint color.
Yes.
You know, come in and see what they're doing in kitchens. I mean, we're in a house today. I loved in the kitchen, they used the flooring on the ceiling as well. And it was beautiful.
See, it's a must see.
Yes.
See, just your facial reaction right there means I have to see that in person to see if that would look good or not.
They used the flooring
on the ceiling.
Yeah, so it's a wood ceiling then and
coordinates to the floor.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that's why we say, look at those details.
Yes.
Because you don't always notice what is it about
Take
this
your
room
time.
that makes it so great.
Which is why you need you could see a lot in one day, but you're not going to be able to see all these wonderful details. So having it 2 weekends, having 4 days of opportunity to see these houses and really take your time and some of these houses to see those details. And what's great too is that the people, their builder will be there, the designer's there, the architect's there, the electrician is there. So you're going to have the opportunity to talk with them and have them personally show you the details that they've done themselves.
Yep.
The just to get back to the nuts and bolts of it, April 18th and 19th, April 25th and 26th, 1 to 5 p.m. For both times. Now, are all of the homes open throughout that entire time, or is it like summer this week and summer next weekend?
So you can go whatever order you want, and we have an app even that helps you map that out. So
Yeah.
you can go through and you can pick which houses you want to go see, and then it'll create the map for you.
Yeah.
So you can figure out how you want to.
And the app will have the details of the house. It will say the square footage, the price range, how many bedrooms, where they're located. So like if you're like, I only want to see, if you're looking for a certain area, you can only you could look at the houses just in that area. If you're looking for a certain square footage of new floor plans you want to see, then you could go look at just those square footages. So you can really hone in on what you're wanting to see.
Oftentimes with a parade of homes, there could be a little bit, and you already brought up price range and whatnot, but there could be a little bit of intimidation, or there could be an intimidating aspect of if this home is being put on parade, it's going to be the top of the top, the top notch of all of it. Tell me a little bit about like some of the different scale.
There's a great price point variety. So you have everything from 200,000 to 5 million, I believe.
Yes.
So you can see at every single price point you could possibly imagine for a new construction, and get ideas from every price point. And you might be in the price point range of like, 300,000 to 400,000 that you're going to be building. So you could take maybe a few of those wonderful little ideas from the 5 million and apply it to that 300,000.
The stealing ideas part is probably my favorite part. I mean, it's because I'm not in the market for a home.
Yeah.
But when your home was built in 64, you're always in the market for something.
Yeah. I'm not in the market either, but I can tell you what we saw this morning in our Parade of Home house, it was inspiring. Like I'm like, ooh, I might go put some wood floors on my ceiling now.
Okay, so go ahead.
I was going to say that's something I like too. The house we're at is in the 100 Oaks area.
Yes.
And this year we've got 3 homes that are on old lots in old established Baton Rouge neighborhoods, a brand new home. So that's so cool to see that. And then we've got some of these neighborhoods like Inniswild Park, where it's like maybe a 1-street neighborhood in the midst of an old neighborhood.
Yes.
So that's just so cool to see that too. See things come back to life like that.
A little bit of rebirth. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's and it's something that Baton Rouge has been in need
of it.
Yeah. You want to be in that great old neighborhood you always love, but you don't have it in you to take care of a house built in the 20s.
Yeah.
You can have that brand.
And you got the larger lot, you've got an established neighborhood. It's really great.
We're talking with the Home Builders Association of Greater Baton Rouge. Angela Poirier and Karen Perfita are in with us. Okay, but it's not just Baton Rouge. Walk me through a little bit of some of the surrounding area.
Right. So we're also in Livingston and Ascension. So there's several houses in the Denham Springs area, again, including Greystone, where we've got some of the higher end houses there as well. But it's a good variety. We've got some newer developments there as well. And, some of these developments too, they are offering a lot of great incentives too. So even if you're wondering whether or not you can afford a house, go to some of those homes and hear what they can do to help you with closing costs, or some of them are able to offer you a great interest rate. So like the DSLD Homes, Level, Manuel Builders. I mean, those are all the kind of people that
great incentives.
You might be able to talk to.
Talk to me a little bit about incentives and interest rates and everything else, because the market right now, as I understand it, is it hasn't been the best moving up to now, but it's a little better. It's on the upswing, or about to be on the upswing.
And that's what they're looking at. And that's why and builders know that. So that's why they're looking at these incentives to help buyers.
Yep.
It's because it's not every day that help is presented like help doesn't slap you in the face all the time.
Not all the time. Not when the market is different, right?
Right.
And like I said, right now is one of these weird times where sometimes a new house is going to be cheaper than an existing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is totally crazy. It doesn't make any sense, but I mean, the deals are there.
Yeah.
And, look, they always say, marry the house, date the interest rate.
Yes.
And we don't know where those interest rates are going to go, but I can tell you this, if you're paying rent, you're paying somebody else's interest rate and mortgage.
Correct.
So make it your own, get something out of it, have something to show at the end.
Got just a couple minutes left talking about the Parade of Homes coming up this weekend and next weekend. I want more details. I want more the hardwood ceilings, but what were some of the other things that you've seen along the way?
So some of the most amazing things we've seen is lighting, all different types of lighting, LED strips, puck lights, decorative fixtures, single fixtures, massive chandeliers, price points from a few $100s to thousands, like $5,000-$10,000 fixtures.
Well, and there's some things too that might not be obvious. So GSE Integrated is our presenting sponsor, and they do all sorts of electrical work.
Yes.
One of the cool things is you can have all your lights on a system, whereas the evening's going on, they're dimming slightly. So helps you get ready for
without
bed.
you touching it. It just automatically knows. It's like a timer. At this time of day, at sunset, I'm going to slowly dim.
I did not realize how old school I was until just now.
And now it's still an easy system to work with.
That's literally gaslighting yourself. That's am I sleepy?
Yes, you are.
Is the light? No, the light's not getting lower.
But you're also going to see great countertop materials, flooring options, the variety of tile and flooring and countertops and backsplash and hardware. I mean, you're going to see with just in one house, you can see 10 different types of hardware.
What's the mix here of there's the prospective buyer, the prospective renovator, and just the curious. What's the mix on this?
Oh my gosh.
I would almost say equally, honestly.
Yeah, I would too.
About 1/3 piece.
Yeah, because because when we've had houses in the past, we have people that are coming through strictly for renovation, and that's why they've come to see our houses. Or maybe they're in the decision-making time, or this actually helps make that decision. They're on the fence. Maybe they're a remodeler, maybe they're a building. You just don't know until they get more information. Have I met the right builder yet? Have I met the right interest rate yet? Where this is that opportunity within one time and not having to make 100 phone calls, schedule 100 days of seeing different people, meeting different builders. You're just all in one weekend. You get to meet the builder, you get to meet potential mortgage broker, you get to meet the contractor, all that in one.
How important is the right builder? Because it's been well over a decade since Christian has shopped for a house.
Yeah.
But when we heard all about one or two builders from the 60s and 70s that everybody raved about.
Yes.
But in today's world, there's so many different regulations and stipulations. Does the builder still matter?
100%. Because you might still, you talked about old school builder, you might still like that type of concept. Maybe you're more into technology. Maybe you want to have an app that gives you picture updates every day, and the old school builder might not be that person for you. Maybe you need someone that's more invested in technology.
Yeah.
And it could be personality types. Maybe you're just I want it done fast type of client, or maybe you want it done with precision and artistic aspects. So you have to make sure that the builder that you're looking for also coordinates to your style. And that could be you could see that through their Instagram accounts or what they post, or sometimes it's just an in-person meeting.
And look and see if they are a member of the HBA.
Yes.
Because again, somebody who really cares about their craft
is also going to care about the community,
because they want to be part of that community, talking to other people. Even this morning, just listening to all of them sharing new things they were seeing and how they can use them. So much comes from that. But also on an advocacy perspective too. It means that they're speaking up for their industry and being sure that we can build great things.
Yeah, but there's something to be said about someone that has time within the Baton Rouge community,
commitment,
or within the Baton Rouge and surrounding community.
Where can folks go if they want to learn more about the dates, times, and places?
Right there. App and a website. Our website, paradegbr.fun. Yes, I said fun at the end, and it is fun. So you can find everything there. Get all the information. You can look at the houses there as well. But the insider tip is using our app.
The app is amazing. That's HBA GBR Parade of Homes, and it's really easy interface. You can see all the pictures of the houses. You can click on that house, see the square footage, the price point, the location, and then you'll have the map too, and you'll be able to see where all the houses are located. And there's no charge to download the app. You can download the app and just look at all this information, but you can also purchase your ticket in the app too.
Very good stuff. It's paradegbr.fun. It's coming up this weekend and next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 1 to 5 p.m. both weekends. Thank y'all so much for stopping by.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
you.
Here comes your money now. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did the one bath and closets for the master bathroom, and had no idea how bad we needed it until we got it.
It's a game changer. I mean, it's incredible.
we went the HELOC route.
Yep.
Burnt a little bit of our equity, but just the difference between having the bathtub from the 60s versus the walk-in shower.
Yeah.
The one vanity versus two, and the lighting.
Yeah, lighting.
Did people in the 60s not like to see themselves?
I think not. That's why there's more. I'm gonna pick there's more. There's more focus on Botox and wrinkles and not anti-aging. And that's probably why we see ourselves a little better.
Right.
This is the backyard at the house we're at this morning.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yes.
Koi
and so
pond.
this is like a fountain running here from that light. This is fountains over on the left side, koi pond with a plexiglass side to it. So you
can see the fish from the edge.
Where is that?
Ingleside.
100 Oaks, basically. Yeah. Y'all have to come.
It's I mean, it's.
I feel like walking around.
I think everyone feels poor when they go to the house.
Be like, oh.
Yeah.
I live in a
wow.
So for tournament this weekend is in
Oh, that sounds fabulous.
Yeah. Stadium.
Yeah.
Where the
Well, that means you've got a lot of equity in the house.
It's all basketball.
Because you haven't
There are
put money.
82
I
teams
like
playing.
that. I'm like,
We had a red
I'd rather you
tournament
not
against
invest small pieces
Oh
and you're
my
not tear
God.
out later.
So
And
she's
you
gonna
do
very
it.
She's gonna have
Just wait till
the
you
number
can
5
do it like
recruit in
you
the
want
nation
to.
where she's gonna have a ranking.
Wow.
I mean, she's gonna have a rent.
That's still
Well,
impressive.
we don't have a renter
It's,
in
You
there.
know,
yeah, it's
I
done.
didn't sweat when I was in high school.
It's a whole
Like,
damn house.
perfect.
No, she's, we're like last
Yeah,
year
and
we
do
did
it all at
AU.
once.
We went to like
Band-Aid it.
Bell
Rip it.
Chase and Fort
I
Salsa.
don't want to do little chunks.
This year it's
Yeah.
Houston and Jackson.
I need to be able to move
It's
around.
Gulf
And it actually
Shores.
is going to be more
How
cost
cool is
effective
that?
to do it all at once.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
amazing.
Because you're not
legit.
start-
She's going up
You're
against
not starting
top
stopping with
notch
each trade.
So
Well, good. Well, y'all have fun.
Will do.
Because they're doing more. Usually, whenever it's a whole house, my painter gives me discounts, my plumber gives me discounts, and my
And they all
electrician.
talk to each other.
No, I mean you still have the contractor that communicates them. Yeah, they don't. No, I wouldn't suggest them to talk to each other. No, electricians are very territorial. Plumbers are very
But you got
territorial.
one guy who's like over
That,
the
that,
whole
tells
process.
everybody what to do.
That's true.
You need-
I
you need-
was telling her I live in
You
a
need
home.
you.
Right.
Like
1969 Terra home, no renovations. The only
Oh,
renovations
gosh.
I did was I pulled off the wallpaper myself just to have paint. But
Yeah.
that's very like
Yeah.
10 years from now they can come behind me and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
my
still
God.
have linoleum in the kitchen. It's
Oh.
like the wooden it's old.
Angela does these great tours with kitchens, and we're in this one house, and she was pointing out to me very low ceilings, but the way they did the cabinets made you feel like that you were in a much taller room. I mean,
I do a kitchen tour that for the Bella Bowman Foundation. So all of our proceeds go that we host it, we put it on, we tour houses, and it's clients and our clients and people that just renovate the kitchen, and then all the proceeds go to the Bella Bowman Foundation.
so much fun. But that kitchen was amazing. And it was great seeing it through her eyes and understanding.
Yeah.
Oh, look what this did.
When y'all were talking about that lights and how it like dims.
Well, yeah. Just, I mean,
that's crazy.
You know, we're
and
light
who
and-
knows what 10 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm ready to upgrade.
I foresee switches going away. Like it's just gonna be
The whole house just will talk.
It's just gonna be like a grazing of the like like in some cars like the BMW, you just swipe your hand and it does things.
That's crazy.
Like
being his password like that.
no, I wanted voice command.
Yeah,
That's-
I like voice command too.
The
So
house
Delta-
we were in this morning too, the owner, he's 73, put a bathroom right, just the toilet right there next to it. Basically, it's, in a room. It looks like a wall, but you push it. And he's like, I want to close. He's married to a younger woman. She was like, I want a bathroom right there. And he's like, I'm 73. I'm putting a bathroom there. I'm paying for the house.
This is crazy.
It's not complicated. You just plug a little thing in the bottom of underneath the sink and you connect the Alexa and add it to the Delta.
That's crazy.
So it's
I
Delta,
can't- I
it's
just
Delta
can't.
voice command.
I cannot.
And the countertops that have a little light area, you just set your phone on it to charge. Through your marble or quartz, it just is a little, you tap and the triangle comes up so you know where it is.
Yo,
Have a
I'm
great
just,
day.
bye.
You gotta come.
Right.
Bye, y'all. Thanks.
Bye. Tell Bill I said hey.
Talk about Phil Poor, huh?
Yeah. Hey.
Man, it's right behind me.
Awesome. We got to knock out this segment and then I'm all yours. 7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is tough. So coming up next hour, we got State Representative Joe Orgeron for two segments. We're going to talk legal reform in one segment, talk carbon sequestration in the one after that, which means right now is the time for this day in history. All right, what you got, Breland?
All right. In 1755, a dictionary of the English language becomes one of the most influential dictionaries ever written. And I say
What?
that because now we got, what is it? We got all these dictionaries. We even have the slang dictionary.
Uh-huh.
So at one time, people used proper language back
Well,
in 1755.
Yeah. Which one was it? I mean, was it Merriam-Webster? Or
No,
was
it was Samuel Johnson way back then. So before
Okay.
Merriam-Webster, they had this one. So
All
I
right.
thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, I
Um,
like it.
Not to go down the rabbit hole or be morbid, but in 1912, we have to have it in there. The RMS Titanic sinks in the North Atlantic.
No, so you were gone on Friday and Monday.
Uh-huh.
Monday began the week of tragedy. on this day in history from the 13th to the 20th of April is remarkably it's super heavy with tragedy.
This day
so
it's all morbid.
You're going to have the Titanic sinking.
Yep.
So yesterday, Abraham Lincoln was shot.
Yes,
so
I have that
not
too.
to tee up what's going to happen in deaths today, but that's where that's at. Yeah, all this week there's going to be a lot of tragedy.
This is horrible.
I know.
Because skip forward in 2013, the Boston Marathon bombing.
Correct.
Kills 3 people, injures 260. 2019, a fire devastates Notre Dame Cathedral.
Yep.
I'm like,
it's the week of tragedy.
Okay.
Crazy.
All right. So to go on to something cool, in 1955, the first McDonald's fast food restaurant opens in Des Plaines, Iowa.
Okay.
Today. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. In 1994, Nirvana's final concert lineup dissolves days after Kurt Cobain's death. The fallout continues around this time as well. That's all I got. What you got?
1947, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, played in his first major league game for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yes.
And there was one more. No, it was the Notre Dame Cathedral. You already had that.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Birthdays. Emma Watson, born in 1990. Seth Rogen, 1982. Chris Stapleton, big name country music, obviously. 1978. That's all I have that's notable enough. What about you, Brian?
I got one that's kind of notable. Born on this day in 1452 was Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay.
And you had Emma Watson that's also Emma Thompson. It's a double Emma day.
Oh, double Emma. Okay, let me see. Pulling up my notable deaths. My thing just etched out on me, like happens to you all the time, Brian. All right, let's see. All right, notable deaths. Obviously, Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
Let's see. Joey Ramone, frontman of the Ramones, passed away, unfortunately, in the year 2001. That's all I have that's notable. What about you?
That's it. Lincoln was my only one for today. So.
All right, National Day today.
It's tax day.
Yep, tax day and National Laundry Day. So if you want to stress out about the fact you haven't done your taxes yet, you can fold tons of laundry.
Well, see, I'll do laundry to procrastinate on my taxes.
There you go. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's how that works. All right, well, that was this day in history. We are due up for a break for news, traffic, weather. When we come back in, State Representative Joseph Orgeron will be with us. In fact, he's already in studio. Before we take that break, though, let me remind you our 2026 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is right around the corner. And this year, First American Bank and Boudreaux's Electrical have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you could spare is going to get us to that match, closer to that match, I should say. Making more dreams come true for local kids battling life-threatening illnesses. Join Talk 107.3 and the Baton Rouge Clinic in helping make dreams come true. It all starts Monday, April 20th. Oh, Nelly. Okay, 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. All right, come on in, sir.
Good morning. Madam Engineer Lady.
Hi, Freeland. How are you?
Lana, are you on mic as well? Are you on mic as well, or are you just hanging? Okay. Here? Yes. All right. Good.
How you been?
Oh, awesome. Blowing and going, man. All over. I do. That's
every day for.
Oh no. Today will be my first day this week. And I'm going twice. Once I had Mark Wright on the show the other day, which, by the way, asked him about kill the mics, please. 806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Brian here with you, Breedlin producing. We are starting off your 8 o'clock hour. It's 64 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. We broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Learn more about that at 180pros.com. So we've been doing something throughout the legislative session that I've really been liking, picking up with Louisiana Lawsuit Abuse Watch to talk about some of the problems that we have in court, problems that we have as a result of what we have in court. What is the cost to you and me out there, and what is the cost of doing business in Louisiana? Want to welcome in State Representative Joseph Orgeron. Welcome back, I should say. How are you, sir?
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Doing good.
Glad to have you in. Glad to be talking about this. I want to talk about coastal lawsuits a little bit. Before we get into like the nuts and bolts of what's actually in front of the courts, can we just talk about the everyday ramifications of what's going on, not what results could be, but just the potential ramifications that you see back in your district and throughout the southeast part of the state?
I mean, you got all the coastal parishes basically being, as I see it, being approached by trial attorneys looking to be able to look for happenings of the past. In Lafourche and Terrebonne in the Bayou region, we've basically opposed all of these, historically have opposed all of the coastal lawsuits. It's more of a don't bite the hand that feeds you, with that being such a large segment of our economy.
So let's talk about that through a couple of different lenses, because yes, don't bite the hand that feeds you, but the lawsuits have to generate from somewhere. So what gets on that path in the first place?
Well, it's usually something that, as I understand that it was infractions that happened or appeared to have happened, but actually at the time, pre-1980s and things like that, there were, all the checks were put into the checkbox. The state government asked for certain things and permits to be done, and the oil companies were following the letter of the law at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 80s, new lawsuits or new statutes were produced, and basically now they're trying to basically impose some of those standards, newer standards, over the actions of the past, and look for lawsuits in those cases.
And I think that's the part that I don't really understand, is that if something were legal then and is illegal now, how do you retroactively make it something that's suable?
Well, you could go straight to the Chevron Plaquemines case, whenever we were in World War II and the federal government says we need more avgas and do what you got to do to save the country. And, the oil companies did the refining, production, everywhere from the guy all the way in the field, all the way up to the refiners who put it in tankers to send it overseas for aircraft. They were doing everything they could. And now, in retrospect, they're coming back and basically creating a lawsuit from it.
Talk to me a little bit about the science and the geology. I lean on you for science, man. You
Thank you.
Through the mid-Barataria sediment diversion topic, you taught me so much. So talk to me a little bit about what effects there's been on the coast as a result of taking it all the way back to World War II. What, cutting pipelines through and being hasty in delivery. Well, what long-term effects that had?
I mean, the whole coastal region, everything, I'm going to say everything south of the bedrock, which is south of Baton Rouge, was basically built on alluvial deposition. Basically, the river, like a fire hose over thousands of years, spraying sediment, and basically it continued to build. We were always building up from the Mississippi River all the way up until 1932, and then we levied the river, and then we stopped allowing the sediment-rich waters to flow into the coastal areas. So that was the very beginning of the necrosis, the cutting off that lifeblood. And at the same time in the 40s, 50s, 60s, you had coastal oil and gas exploration, and the easiest way to get to it was to dig and dredge a canal, pile up the material on a spoil bank, and basically get an inland barge to drill the well. And permits were done, permits were received, but unbeknownst to them, with the sediment and fresh water no longer flowing into the basin, and them cutting all these cuts to go and explore and produce oil and gas, that was the first thing, was that you allowed a path for salt water to flow in that was otherwise previously not there.
So when you talk about there has been damage done, it's just a matter of when it comes around to this. To me, it's three parts. Is number one, we're pointing the finger potentially in the wrong direction. Number two, even if the finger would be pointing in the right direction, the number and amounts within the lawsuits are so massive that it's not sustainable to do business. And number three, what's the message it's sending to other businesses that want to do business?
Correct. And in the production of any hydrocarbon whatsoever, in other words, understand you whether you're drilling for a gas well or an oil well, you're going to find three things every time. To some extent, you're going to find oil, gas, and water. They're always together.
Mm-hmm.
Even a gas well usually produces a small amount of oil and some water, and whether or not it's a lot of water that you have to get rid of or not. And a gas well is the same way. It's going to produce a certain amount of oil and not gas, or vice versa. So you always get those three, and the water is the one that for some of these lawsuits was the discharge of the water directly in, and that's usually a briny, saltier water that can do damage. So but at the time, as you said, as the law allowed then, that was the proper mechanism.
Talk with State Representative Joe Orgeron about the coastal lawsuits. So let's walk through a couple of them, because there's more than a handful, to be sure.
About 40 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start. You mentioned Chevron.
Right.
Is that one's Plaquemines Parish?
That one's Plaquemines Parish, that the local court had ruled it for a $745 million judgment to Plaquemines Parish, was appealed to the Supreme Court, argued, and currently waiting that's kind of like where we are right now, waiting on that.
Well, so if you were to look at, we'll call it 40. I don't think the 40 is the exact number, but we'll call it 40. If you look at all of them, are these numbers similar across the board?
I do believe, yeah.
So if you're talking $7.75 billion for one, you just multiply that by 40 to see what the cost would be overall.
I'm really not 100% sure on the average, median, and standard deviation of the claim amounts.
Right, but within the margin,
I would imagine that they're all in that. They're all going for a big payout. Let's just put it that way.
Is the expectation that if one drops, it'll be like dominoes?
The main thing that is up at the Supreme Court is the venue. Is the venue correct? This was the federal government telling an oil company we need more avgas at a time of war, and it being litigated in a state level court is what's being argued. That is the primary thing that's in front of the Supreme Court. Is should this be in a federal court? And the belief is if the ruling comes back that these should be in federal court for the benefit of the entire nation and what they do, then like dominoes, many of these lawsuits may fall.
Got State Representative Joseph Orgeron in with us, talking a little bit about coastal lawsuits. We're going to keep him around for a different topic coming up in our next segment. But sticking with the coastal lawsuits quickly, this is parish by parish, right?
It is.
So what's the pitch here to get a parish on board? Because you said there's some parishes that are just saying, we don't want to play in this.
It's coastal restoration money. It's basically a portion of it will come back to you to be able to do projects in your parish.
The CPRA, though, has a pretty decent master plan.
They do $1 billion a year for 50 years.
Yeah, that'll get a little bit done, to say the very least.
The BP oil spill gave us a timely shot in the arm that unfortunately kind of peters out last year, that we'll be able to draw funds from those fines, or it's 2031. But at the same time, the one big beautiful bill that passed recently increased the amount of GOMESA money that we got from way back in Katrina times, whenever Mary Landrieu fought, so that we would get back some of the offshore federal revenue that goes to Washington, that we, the states, get back. So that level is going to be increased. And recently there were reports of, I think, Occidental Petroleum has found a new find in the Gulf, like
that was area. Like day before yesterday. Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Right. So that's like,
which is crazy.
There was it's not like a fixed amount, and we're going to be going through that piggy bank, and whenever it's done, it's done. They're continuing to find new copious finds of hydrocarbons in the Gulf of Mexico.
Two more on this before we take a break and completely pivot. Number one is, there was a time where when you heard about all the coastal lawsuits, it was all about the damage end. What has taken so long to get the defense back out there? Because it took forever before I even learned about World War II, or the involvement of World War II in the process.
My understanding is it was just the political environment and the administrations that were at hand, and how aggressive they allowed these lawsuits to progress in through the various courts.
And also, and this one is probably a little bit tougher to nail down because it's over 40 different lawsuits. So you're not going to have a consensus here. What's the desired outcome?
I I think the trial attorneys that are running these want to be on the wall of fame, the Reynolds Tobacco wall of fame, and the asbestos, and the so on and so forth. I think they just want to be up there with, and there we are, legal coastal lawsuits. Myself,
but no, from the other end though, from the end of like. Is the aim here to have them thrown out, or smaller settlements, or something more reasonable along the way? Is there a middle ground?
It's to figure out the altruistic goal is in some part or way the hydrocarbon industry did help exacerbate the coastal problem, and therefore they should be paying a hefty portion of resolving that.
But be reasonable with the number.
But be more reasonable in the number. Right. And the point is that the vast majority of our coastal restoration right now, the funds that we get come from the hydrocarbon industries anyway, whether it be through GOMESA money, fines like the BP oil spill, or any other aspects. I mean, very little is from boating taxes, fuel taxes and stuff like that. So
my whole thing, my biggest thing on this is that I just want it not to be over our head anymore, because I can't help but think that every economic development push that's out there, this is just lingering right there. Every time we try to sell the state to somebody, this is how we treat business when they come here. Is that how impossible is? No, that's a loaded question. How difficult is it to avoid that reputation while this is still, pending?
We in Louisiana have issues with egress, and we're trying to change that with lower income tax rates and make ourselves more attractive. And here we still have this one smudging of character where you come and set up business, and you never know, in 20 years we might sue the pants off of you,
right? Which in this day and age of where the next business is coming from, and like, I'm not going to completely derail it, but when you look at data centers being built, when you look at the carbon sequestration we're talking about in the next segment,
new refining processes, next generation refining,
when you look at anybody that wants to do anything new and innovative, they have to have in the back of their mind what our track record is. So
the overly litigious fabric upon which Louisiana's beautiful picture is painted.
So I mean, it's closing this chapter has got to be important. He is State Representative Joe Orgeron, going to stick around with us for another segment here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, yes, we are going to pivot on topic. Before we take our break, kind of remind you about the folks in Matherns. Since I have a state representative in with me, I will tell you about the Matherns downtown. All right, full-service grocery store downtown. If you live, work, play downtown, Matherns is here for you. And if you download the Matherns Rewards app, you're getting cash towards more groceries every time you shop. Every Wednesday morning, the latest Matherns deals come through. In fact, if I wanted to look it up, I could probably tell you what dropped for this morning. You know what? Not going to do that in real time because I only got 35 seconds.
Closest to the Capitol.
It is. It's so between 3rd and 4th Street in Maine, 440 3rd Street is where it's at. Parking lots on the 4th Street side, but you can get in on either side. Fantastic salad bar, underrated deli counter, but a full-service grocery store for downtown. It's Matherns.
And don't forget, they got that little room that they do little tasting events and all, right? Whenever you come in on the 4th
Oh, yeah.
So one time I walked in there and I was like, what's going on over there? Oh, it's a wine tasting. They were doing a pairing or something.
So that building used to be a bank.
Yeah.
And the bank vault is now the wine. Yeah.
Correct. I'll go in there. Thank you.
But Brian, to your point, the verdict definitely precedent.
So, are the mics still on? 822 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Keeping Representative Joe Orgeron in with us, but we're going to pivot topics here. Talk a little carbon sequestration, if we could, Representative Orgeron. I don't know that you and I have talked on this topic before.
I don't think we have.
Your general takeaway is because, I mean, everybody's got a position and everybody's heels are dug in.
Yep.
Your general takeaway is what?
Originally against it, now for it.
What turns you?
Wanting to keep Louisiana producing hydrocarbons to the very end of the energy road, as long as hydrocarbons are going to be produced on the planet. We do it currently. The Gulf of Mexico produces it with the lowest carbon footprint, or in the most ecologically responsible manner. And with the pipeline infrastructure and the refineries we have, as we continue to move to other energy sources such as nuclear and electrification with cars and better grid technologies, we will never slow down our hydrocarbon production from the Gulf and the refining capacity here, but we going to be exporting those products to other parts of the world.
Right, and those other parts of the world want this.
That's
and,
right.
Do you have safety concerns?
Yes, I do have safety concerns in the same way that I have safety concerns about the Tennessee gas pipeline that gave a servitude to pass in the back of my house, and the loop pipeline that also passes in the back of my house. But you know, I know that they haven't. There's never been a gas leak or gas explosion nor oil. So.
Well, and see that's I think you and I are completely on the same page on this one, because if any safety concerns I would have on this, I would also have about oil and gas, and that oil and gas has been our bread and butter for so many years.
Correct.
And we've seen. You learn, you adapt, you do it safer than anybody else on the planet, and you're going to be better than anybody else on the planet.
You will be
and you want to have
the best provider of a customer required product. That's right.
One of my bigger concerns is that for those of us who are in favor of it, I feel like we're constantly playing whack-a-mole with those who are against it.
Right.
If you mention safety, they're going to tell you about eminent domain. If you mention eminent domain and calm their concerns on that front, they're going to tell you about, it's new technology. If you explain that it's not new technology, they're going to hit you with something. It's just constant, and then no matter how many questions you answer, they're going to say there's so many unanswered questions.
Yeah, we've been doing EOR, carbon dioxide injection for enhanced oil recovery for 60 years, and this is just basically continuing that and doing it with more. In other words, we're going to produce more hydrocarbons in the future. We're going to continue to increase our production,
right?
And even though we locally might not be able to use it, we're going to export a lot of the precursor products that come from it to other parts, and they do have mandates for I'm going to call it just some level of carbon abatement, right?
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be zero carbon or anything like that. You just need to be showing that you're doing something with it. So a certain amount of carbon capture, and I think as we scale this up, there's going to be so much carbon. I mean, I love all the utilization locations, the places where you can get this pure carbon and be able to refine it into graphene and nanostrands and high tensile. I went to a grid technology where they're talking about new power line constructions that has a carbon fiber core in it. With different metals in there that could carry more current or variable things, but it did have a carbon fiber core, and I'm like, well, that's another possible use. But the point is that we're going to produce so much hydrocarbons for the the world, that I think there'll be a surplus of carbon, and eventually underground sequestration will be required to some point. And we also have the geology for that. We have the geology of the porous layers way down that have hydrocarbons in them, and then we got the ones that are big empty tanks. So that's what they're targeting.
Congressman Clay Higgins typed out an op-ed. It's over at the Hayride if you want to check it out. It's actually to me very thoughtful. He put a lot into it.
I read it,
into the whole topic. Congressman Higgins says the risk is not in the pipeline process nor the injection process. We've been running pipelines and wellheads for generations quite successfully. The actual risk of carbon sequestration is in the potential failure of the porous rock fields. Industry can't control that, and it's virtually impossible to detect dangerous pre-existing weaknesses in the massive city-sized geological fields deep under the surface. There's only been one. There's only been one carbon sequestration accident to happen. It actually happened on the pipeline front, not the sequestration front.
Right.
So, is there risk 2 miles below the ground?
No, that carbon dioxide in that one Mississippi accident came from a naturally occurring underground reservoir. So it is already sequestered. And I know other companies have some canyons in Colorado that they pull carbon dioxide from, and they send directly to the Permian basins for enhanced oil recovery.
So you got shale, you got sandstone down there.
Correct. Multiple layers.
And a whole ton of pressure because you're 2 miles under the earth.
Correct.
I don't see the same risk he does.
Well, it's anywhere that you're going to put it that you had pre-existing, I'm going to say, perforations down to those levels. There is a higher risk of those older wells being a path back to the surface. In places where they haven't had any extensive drilling, those are the prime places for sequestration. But they're going to drill monitoring wells and be able to keep an eye. It's all extremely high tech. It's not 1970s Uncle Tex from Texas with overalls coming and popping holes and putting carbon down there.
Not just monitoring wells, but we're one step ahead on the studying effort as well. Southeastern Louisiana University has been, getting out in front of this curve before it even happens. One of the whack-a-mole arguments that we often hear, we only got a minute and a half left. One of the whack-a-mole arguments we often hear is about what happens if a company decides to pack up 10 years down the road and just move on. This is one that I think Congressman Higgins touched on well, in that CO2 doesn't stay CO2 under the ground.
Over time, it does carbonate into the existing rock. It does basically merge with the rock and stay down there. Yeah.
So
takes a while.
Yeah. How long's a while? 10 years?
10, 20 years. Yeah.
So if
after 5 years,
if a company packed up in 10 years, that which they've pumped down, the clock's already ticking.
But in any oil and gas operation, you always have bonding and all to be able to keep, to have a financial instrument to be able to cover the cleanup of anything that you have, whether it's a well or a facility, things like that. So hopefully we'll be working those into the business model as well.
Breedlin, we're going to go 1 minute long here, okay? Because I got one more 4 minutes. Taking it back inside the Capitol. When it comes to this particular debate, I was concerned that it was going to derail the whole session. It doesn't look like that's happening right now. Is there, to pull back the curtain for us a little bit, is there a lot of measured discussion going on, reasonable discussion going on?
Well, we had the one eminent domain property rights bill, and now we still have several local option bills that still need to be passed through committee. And there's a concern. I heard a concern that the primacy that we get from the federal government, we're not exactly sure whether we're like borrowing the rights from the federal governments to be able to do this. Okay, so it's not the Fed saying y'all go do what y'all want, y'all have the okay to do it however y'all want, whatever way y'all want. My understanding is legally we are basically a proxy for the federal government in the control, and the question on whether we could further segregate local options and all within the state is a legal concern.
So that's one more level of oversight, or one more level of concern?
One more level of the bills that they're trying to pass through, are they constitutional in that sense that we could do those things?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the debate will go on. The topic will not go away. In the meanwhile, I always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
State Representative Joe Orgeron, we greatly appreciate the time. All right, we blew right past ABC News, and I don't care because this is what's happening locally. So let's get to our local news, traffic, weather. Congresswoman Julia Letlow's up next.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Although we didn't get to the Jello, but
no, we didn't get to the Jello.
I know this is how I tell somebody: you ever had a piece of lava rock and you blow on it, you can blow the air right through it. But if I tell you to take a water hose and put it, you're going to get wet because it splashes.
Okay.
Well, carbon dioxide in this supercritical state is a fluid like the water that you're drinking, like the water in the water hose, but it flows through the porous rock as a gas. There's no the resistance is minimal. You understand?
Yeah.
You can basically punch it in, push it through rock as if it's gaseous, even though it's in a liquid state.
But like when he talks about pressurized, it's the pressure to get it down there.
Correct. Well, first you have to pressurize it to get it in a liquid form.
Right.
That's only 2,000. And then you have to bump up the pressure to be able to get it to be slightly above the ambient pressure down there.
Right. I don't know.
It's not floating around down there.
No.
Well, it's also not like sitting there waiting to burst.
No.
And with the way he uses it,
Right.
pressurized, it makes it sound like
It's
still,
looking for a fault or a fracture to like fracking.
Yeah.
Which is different. There you overpressure to be able to break the rock, and the liquid that we break the rock has little sand beads in, so that as it fractures, the sand beads go in there, and that's what keeps the fracture open. So you're basically like making capillaries with fracking because you're overpressuring. But this is carbon dioxide sequestration doesn't have over.
I always grab at least one nugget, making capillaries with fracturing. That's gonna stick.
Well, that's how you get out that tight shale. That
Shoot, I totally forgot to read to say this on air. It's his birthday today, too.
Oh, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Starting off his birthday
The sixth
with us.
decade I'm in now. 60 years old.
6 years young. What you talking about?
I'm 10 behind you.
It's all those years
I'm
with
not gonna
Keith
comment,
Richards
but I'm
and
closer.
Mick Jagger. All that rough living with Keith Richards. Makes me look like this.
That man's still alive.
Thank you, Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Engineer extraordinaire.
Brian.
I'm from Houma, so that adds in.
My
I love
absolute
it.
pleasure, always.
Appreciate you. Thank you. That was great. And when you send it, I'm going to post it. There's-
Oh, can you post those, Breland? Can you post those separately? Because they're two separate topics.
In 2 seconds.
Okay.
Sorry, I meant to tell you that before.
Yeah.
The
I
answer
can
is
do
yes.
it.
It's just
yeah.
I'm putting
I'll
more
do
work
some
on a
editing.
plate.
Yeah, no
And I think
problem.
I have the same outfits.
Really? I love it. It's so comfortable.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
comfortable. Yes.
All right. Thank y'all so much, guys. We'll see y'all soon.
And the point is that this report comes from the Talk 107.3 traffic center.
You've been thinking about it
Like the BPO or
Now's the time to make it happen. One day, change your life. Hi, this is Dr.
That should be the Congresswoman.
And I'm Dr. Leo Ray.
Talk 107.3. Hey, good morning. We'll be coming to you in just a few, okay? Thank you.
Will ensure your procedures are done correctly, painlessly, and cost-effectively. Over 30,000 dental implants placed, 5-star people rating back this up. The larger corporate
Also, and this one is
Fusion Implant Center, you will see the same staff, the specialists, the same local doctors that have been treating patients for 30 years. Second thought, your first consultation is free. Give us a call or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Because one moment can change a day.
If I got out for 47, or if I got out for 48, we could cover the spot from. We'll like lose your money now, but keep the spot. If I got out for 48, is that right? Okay.
If we break at 47, no, if we break at 48.
If we break at 48, we'll lose your money now, but get to clear it because we cover the spot. That's what I'm gonna do. So Congresswoman's press guy was in town last week. I got to have lunch with him. Went over to Rocco's. It's a good dude. And then Rocco like totally embarrasses me. No, he like calls the entire restaurant to attention and says, "Everybody, we have a celebrity in the house, Mr. Brian Haldane, my brother in Christ, the morning show host on Talk." And like he like starts, so he gets the whole room clapping. I'm like, oh God, Rocco, why? Why does he do what he does? Why is he so awesome? I know he's amazing. Just wears me out.
Love him.
Golden?
Yeah.
Snurdly?
I need to start listening to him.
You should.
He seems like he's just a hoot to hang out with.
So I've been to an event that he's hosted before, and he is. He's nostalgia. He's smooth. He's just he's a good time. 8:37 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Need just a moment before we welcome in Congresswoman Letlow to talk about Neurojust. Neurojust.com is the website. If you or someone you know and love is battling with anxiety or depression, then that has been treatment resistant. What does treatment resistant mean? The sit down, talk it out therapy doesn't take, or you don't like the way you feel on the antidepressants, on the prescription meds. You're seeing advertisements for prescription drugs that help the other prescription drugs. Hey, you're taking that drug? We'll take this drug to make that drug better. No, get off of that train. Neurojust.com. They specialize in TMS therapy, transcranial magnetic stimulation. This targets the part of the brain that affects the mood. So that constant fight or flight that you're feeling, if you battle with anxiety, that constant that just wears you down to where those 6-foot waves splashing around in your head, they just won't go away. This calms those seas. It's like physical therapy for the brain. And, oh, by the way, your insurance will pick up the tab on this. Learn more at neurojust.com. All right, time for a little DC Current presented by the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. Time to welcome in Congresswoman Julia Letlow. It has been a while since I've called her the mama bear of the Louisiana delegation, but I think that's back in due order today after an op-ed she put up at the Hill. Congresswoman, welcome back. How are you?
I'm so great, Brian. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course, always. Maha is more than just a slogan. Tell me all about this piece that you wrote.
I'm so proud to be a Maha mom. I know that there are so many across the state. I've had the pleasure of meeting with so many of them, but you know, we all have one thing in common. We want a better world for our children. And my goodness, I'm glad that President Trump and Secretary Kennedy have embraced the Maha movement. You know, we've had chronic disease, a huge problem in this country, but as you know, right here in Louisiana, our numbers are staggering. And thankfully we have people like the president and the secretary who are telling the truth about the flaws in our healthcare system. And I'm just glad that they're encouraging healthy eating and lifestyle choices. And it's really an attitude shift away from ultra processed foods. You know, it's amazing how many ultra processed foods are out there. You know, the things that we grew up with eating. So I'm so grateful that we're going to have a shift in this way of thinking, a shift in our attitudes about public health, and just making better decisions for ourselves and for our kids. You know, Louisiana deserves no less. So I was proud to write the op-ed and put it out there, and just so grateful to also have the Maha endorsement in this race. It means so much to me and moms and dads across Louisiana.
Congresswoman Julia Letlow, our guest, talking a little bit about the Make America Healthy Again movement. Congresswoman Letlow, very early on in the movement, the narrative kind of got away, as will happen with the media. The narrative got away to make it sound like Maha is quote unquote anti-medicine or anti-doctor. How do you get that narrative back under control?
Yeah, you just have to keep spreading the messaging. And, you know, absolutely, the narrative should be about a personal relationship that you have with your doctor. You know, I've learned so much from Dr. and former Congressman Ralph Abraham about this, that it's so important that we have those trusted relationships with your primary care provider. That's what Maha is pushing, and that's what I'm going to be continuing to share as well.
Well, and we really lost this during COVID, by the way. We got rid of, or we started to downplay the relationship with your personal doctor and upplay the relationship of the doctors you see on TV or WebMD. You know, you become your own Google doctor, and that, like, when you have your physician or your pediatrician, then that's the relationship you want to embrace.
Right, and encourage people to have a primary care physician and have a pediatrician that you can go to and trust and ask those questions and then make decisions, informed decisions for your healthcare and for your children. So we're going to keep promoting that. I know Maha will as well, and I'm excited to work with them as a mama bear.
As the mama bear of Louisiana's delegation, to be sure. 2 young children, actually in your piece of the Hill, It says that as a mom of 2 young children, that part hits home for me. I don't want my children growing up in a country where chronic illness is treated as normal. How normal is it at this point? Like, I know the numbers are historically record breaking, but just how normal is it when you talk about like childhood obesity, juvenile diabetes, and everything that can stem from those things?
It's absolutely heartbreaking. The numbers are staggering. I have to go back and look for what we're facing in Louisiana, but I know we have some of the highest rates. And, it's just heartbreaking, especially when it comes to our children. I was so encouraged to see the president put back the presidential fitness test. Do you remember taking that when we were
I do.
in grade school? I mean, it's really just about getting out, getting our children out, moving again, exercising. One of the best things about living in my little neighborhood is I live on a cul-de-sac. And so I bring my kids home from school. I don't see them till supper time, Brian, because they're out playing like we used to do growing up instead of sitting behind an iPad or playing a video game. So it's not just about nutrition. A lot of it is, but let's get our kids out moving again. Let's exercise and get your blood flowing. It's good for you. So I'm excited about this movement.
Congresswoman Julia Letlow is our guest. Okay, you mentioned the presidential fitness test. I gotta ask. What's your time in the mile? Best, not today, best ever.
Oh, best ever? Well, I hate the mile. I was a sprinter growing up.
I see that.
I think it was like in the 8-minute range, 8, 9. Yeah. I think we had to get to like 7 minutes, 30 seconds when I ran at the collegiate level, which was torture. But yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't the best. I'm not long distance, Brian. What was yours?
7:40.
Woo! Okay.
7:40, but that was like senior year of high school. Today we're pushing like 13. So
yeah,
no, we're close today.
I'm walking my miles these days, but hey, I'm out there.
Well, exactly. But isn't that the point though? You're out there. That's the whole point. Being active overall. Congresswoman Julia Letlow is our guest. This is DC Current, presented by the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. Learn more about your state's Chamber of Commerce at labi.org. Okay, you had a bill pass the floor. Was it yesterday or talking ag and forestry? I know in your district and quite honestly statewide, this is a big deal. Tell us about the bill.
Yeah, it was a great night last night to pass one of my bills. It's called the Emergency Conservation Improvement Act. And this is a huge win for our Louisiana timber industry, our forest landowners, and also livestock. So hey, it's got a long name, but here's the gist. Okay, so after natural disasters such as the wildfires Louisiana has suffered in recent years, many timber producers, forest landowners, and other farmers have to pay up front to clean up the damage on their property, and then they can go receive a reimbursement from the federal disaster aid. So this legislation, so I listened to my producers. They said that that was absolutely a huge burden on their backs. And so this ensures that they can receive those disaster payments up front, up to 75%. And they would already be eligible for these funds. So this is just helping the cash flow come quicker so they can start the cleanup process. And as you know, Brian, I mean, we deal with natural disasters all the time. I mean, having to deal with FEMA is an absolute nightmare. So this is really a way for me to help my foresters, livestock producers start building those fences back. That's huge for our livestock producers. So it really was an honor to go fight for this bill. It was bipartisan. I think only 10 people voted against it. They're just nuts. So this was great. This was a great piece of legislation working in a bipartisan manner to get it across the finish line. So I'm super proud to be able to deliver results for Louisiana.
Absolutely. Congresswoman Julia Letlow, we got her for another couple minutes here. I know I've got other topics that we probably should get to when it comes to business in the Capitol, but I would be remiss if, because of the headlines over the last day or two, talk to me a little bit about the resignations of Representatives Swalwell and Gonzalez. This is, I want to get your opinion, not just as a congressperson, but as a congresswoman. As allegations arose, I feel like this situation on both counts, so it's not due to party, but this situation on both counts, the level of seriousness with which this was taken, it escalated as compared to previous instances.
Yeah, Yeah, it was a shock to all of us, especially up here on Capitol Hill. But I mean, I firmly believe that no politician should ever be above the law or the rules that govern members of Congress. And what's been reported out of California and Texas is horrible. I hope to see full investigations for them, and I'm also glad to see that members at issue will no longer be in public office. So. It's so important, Brian, to have the trust of the public that we're elected to serve. And if members violate that trust, then there should be consequences, such as no longer being a representative. So, it's so negative and it's heartbreaking for the survivors. And, I hope that judgment is swift and due process takes place and we can move forward and hopefully get back to a better place as a Congress.
We've got exactly 1 minute left with Congresswoman Julia Letlow. I want to ask you about, you've been questioning some cabinet secretaries or potential cabinet secretaries in committee hearings this week. The question I want to ask is, what's that like? But what's been the topic of conversation and what have you been digging in on?
Oh, it is one of the coolest parts of this job.
Right?
So, yes, I know. I pinched myself. So I'll have the chance to chat with USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins. She is an absolute rock star. And, of course, Health Secretary Kennedy in committee this week. So this is through appropriations, my subcommittees. We're going to talk to them about the budgets that they have prepared for the upcoming year and how Congress can work together with them on some of their priorities and our priorities. For that matter. But gosh, I'm a huge fan of both of these two. I'd love to talk to, I'm going to talk to Secretary Brooke Rollins about some of the staffing issues that we're facing in Louisiana when it comes to FSA and our farmers. I listen to them and I want to make sure that they have access to USDA whenever they need them, especially during the planting season. And so I'm going to talk to her about that. And then also Secretary Kennedy about his health initiatives for our kiddos and how I can best partner with him to continue pushing that message forward. So it's going to be a great week. I'm excited about tomorrow.
She is Congresswoman Julia Letlow. We always appreciate the time. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Brian. Always.
Thank you. That was DC Current, presented by the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. Quick break. We're dipping in with Dreams Come True next. How are y'all today? Come on over. We got y'all on these two chairs. Yeah.
It's okay. I'll be 18 in January. I'll be 18 in January.
I can't believe that, y'all. I knew you would. This is crazy. Yeah, we did the interview. She was 5. I think that's when we started all of this. Yes. Yeah, I remember that. And all the interviews I did with you were at the hospital. I think I did one in the studio, I think. But yeah.
The one at the hospital was for the hospital.
And she was doing her treatments at the time. She had to come down, hooked up to everything. I remember that.
My sister's listening.
Do you still have treatments? Like, do you have to go 5
times a year? My port is gone. I had surgery to remove it now. I don't have it anymore, so I don't have to go once a month. I still goes in for like checkups, but
she's had 86 hospitalizations.
Good Lord.
So she's still getting hospitalized.
I was just in there for my finger.
And before that, we brought in the new year.
I brought in the new year. I was in there for a week.
Oh no. That's
I got out 2 days before my birthday.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies for the jacked up table.
Oh, you're good.
Previous guest.
Wasn't there a picture that I was sitting right there?
Yes.
I just saw that on Facebook. And then my brother from North Carolina is also listening. He's in the Marines. Yeah.
He's stationed over there right now.
Is he tuning in on Facebook? He can watch us on Facebook. We're live. Tell him we're live on Facebook. He can tune in to where he can see you. And are you still dating?
I'm actually in a relationship right now.
What? No.
Promising already.
I don't like this. You're not allowed to date.
Either.
I'm always going to know you as the little girl that brought that teddy bear into the hospital.
Which teddy bear was that?
It was a brown one, and it had like a little
Gray shirt?
Yes.
That had all my friends' signatures on it? Yeah.
So do you know? You knew I had the babies, right?
Yes.
So they're not babies anymore. My oldest is going to be 9 this summer.
Oh.
My twins are 7. Like,
Oh.
Ain't that crazy? I know.
It's okay. David's going to be 16 in June. Gary's going to be 11? 12. Gary's going to be 12. Mm-hmm. Now Gary's going to be 12. I remember I was sitting right there. I saw a picture on Facebook of me sitting right there.
Nope. I don't like it.
854 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Coming up Monday, our Dreams Come True Radiothon gets underway, and we get an early peek, if you will. We have Kelly Guillory and her mom, Jennifer Guillory, in the house. Welcome aboard. How y'all doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. I feel like I'm not the wrong person doing this interview because y'all know my producer.
Me
So
too.
We go way back.
Yes, we do.
I mean, you just take it from here if you want.
Well, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Well, our Dreams Come True Radiothon gets started on Monday, but I've known you since you were a little girl. So for those who don't know your story, give me the Cliff Notes.
Okay, so the day after she was born, we had to pull the code blue. She stopped breathing on us. And then after that started our journey with the hospital stays. She had 25 hospital stays her first year, each one being a week at a time. And she's 17 now and has had 86 hospital stays. That's not including ER visits.
I'm sorry. So elaborate a little bit more on what the issue was. What has she been battling?
So she has a rare genetic disorder called VLCAD, very long chain Achil-CoA dehydrogenase deficiency.
I got all that.
Yeah.
No, I
so
totally understood.
Some of her doctors have never heard of it. I went to medical school, never heard of it. Her pediatrician, the week after she got out of the NICU, passed us a sheet of paper, a computer printout, and said, in case she has this, follow these steps, but I've never heard of it. And so then we went to the geneticist, confirmed it, and that's been our journey. So she can't fast. The more active she is, the more she has to eat. The food burns right through her. But she can't break down fats, so that can cause heart failure, all the failures. So she's at one point she had 9 doctors that were following her, and I think we're down to 5.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, tell me a little bit about growing up with that.
Struggle.
I would imagine.
Struggle. But with all the organizations I'm a part of, like Dreams Come True, they gave me my wish, which was I went to Disney World.
Okay.
I was there for my birthday. Actually, I went for my birthday. We spent, how long did we spend there?
A week.
And then I'm a part of all of their events mostly. I have done the golf tournaments, the radios, the fashion shows. I've done a lot for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like they make it to where you don't feel like you're sick. They make it to where you could be a kid. You don't have to like.
How do you feel right now?
Nervous.
No.
But
in general, Kelly.
Like in general, I'm doing actually really good. I am graduating high school next year.
Congratulations.
And I will be going straight to college right after.
So as far as your day-to-day is concerned, everything is in order right now. how, and I don't want to like put this in your universe, but how careful do you have to be to keep it on the right path?
Very careful. I have to eat around the clock sometimes. Because with my blood sugar, I have a monitor now. So anytime it drops below 60 sometimes. So I have to make sure I have snacks on me and I have to make sure I eat the right stuff.
Wow. Incredible stuff. Jennifer, I want to ask you, with so much difficulty in putting not just getting the diagnosis, but a diagnosis that anybody had heard of,
right?
What I can't ask you to like relive it, but what was that time like when, we got to find somebody who knows what's wrong and understands what's wrong in order to just physically keep her alive?
She's my first kid. So having your first kid and pulling the code blue, which you usually see on TV, that's when I saw it because I watched the medical shows. But it was like having to actually do it in real life was traumatizing because it's like, okay, so we would have to monitor her. And at a month old, that started our hospital stays. And it was just trying to figure out what we needed to do to prevent her from going in there. We had to, if we had family come over, especially kids, they would have to like shower, bathe, change their clothes because they could bring something on them. She would catch it and she'd end up in the hospital for a week. And so it's been very stressful. And then the different levels of age group, like, okay, now you're the different stages of life. There's different things we're learning. So like stress drops her blood sugar.
Yeah.
Too much heat or too much cold drops her blood sugar. And so there's different things we have to monitor even now to try and keep her stable.
We got 30 seconds left, and I appreciate y'all squeezing in real quick. The relationship with Dreams Come True has been what, in a word or in a sentence?
Absolutely amazing. Everything donated stays here in Louisiana.
Dreams Come True Radiothon coming your way starting Monday right here on Talk 107.3 FM and actually throughout our Guarantee family of stations. Kelly, Jennifer, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Moon's next. See, that's the thing. I knew I shouldn't, like, I should have found a... Guys, we'll see y'all tomorrow. I have Congresswoman Letlow scheduled 8:30 on